What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Bangkok Strange. I am Dana Bluen, as always, joined by my co-host, Mike Somerville.
Greetings, aloha.
Man, what a strange weekend. 4-day weekend, Songkran replacement holiday is when we're recording this. So probably, I just dated us. It'll come out like a week later, but whatever.
I'll tell you, I don't think it met expectations, that's for sure.
No.
I mean, I was down in Pattaya, and they were like, oh yeah, everyone's going to be coming down here. It's going to be crazy. Walking streets going to be crickets. I mean, there were people there, of course.
Yeah.
But
not so many.
No, I mean, I said, well, forget it. I'm leaving. I'm taking the bus back.
I basically worked from the studio. worked on some design projects. Jib as well as working on her artwork.
Knit by Gib.
Knit by Gib. No. So she was working on her embroidery art this weekend for at the school that she's at. So she's working on a large piece. But today's topic is one that we both are well versed in. Is the move to Thailand, the transition to being a full-timer in country legally, or we might talk about otherwise methods.
It's a gray area, really.
We might talk about some of the gray areas, but we'll definitely cover some of the others. And you're wearing your strange shirt today. If you're looking,
I got my strange shirt on, yeah. And as you know, this started out just as a company called Foul Fashion. They're basically no longer around. I had this patch put in because there was an altercation I had with a girl who thought she should be in my life and was pissed that the other girl was in my life.
Must have been Latina.
No, Thai.
Wow.
Yeah. And so she grabbed this thing, big hole in it, right? And this is like 5-6 years ago. So I'm thinking, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to just keep this shirt and then I'll go to the Philippines and or I'll be somewhere. I was thinking I'll be in Thailand and you can walk down the sidewalk anywhere and find some guy with a sewing machine. He'll throw this on. Well, I got this put on in the Philippines for 60 pesos.
What's that in
30
US?
cents.
30 cents.
Yeah, absolutely. Friggin' amazing. Or no, wait, I'm sorry. $50. Anyway, it was something.
Free.
It was free. Yeah, exactly. And then Jib, of course. She does the whole knit by Jib on this.
So
baby.
I was actually supposed to patch this, and I never got to it.
And Mike's 2 weeks go by.
I still haven't done your shorts either. I've made like 6 bags. I've done a bunch of other projects in the studio, not done your shorts.
Are you like that mechanic that's got like 17 transmissions in his front yard?
Yes.
But like all of his customers are well taken care of, but he's got like 13 of those like station wagons with shelf paper on the side of it that look like wood, and they're out back, and his wife's like, would you get those fucking things? He's like, hey.
I'm working on these.
I'm working on these. That's a fine vehicle. That'll make, those 16 cars will make 3.
One.
Yeah, if you're lucky, it'll make one good one.
A little bit of liquid nail.
Let me put some Bondo. Slap some Bondo on that baby. You're good.
So my first car was probably mostly held together by liquid nail and Bondo.
Yeah, Bondo was good. I actually upgraded the fiberglass.
Oh, yeah?
That changed my life. Because you put the mesh in there.
Yeah.
Because, of course, all the cars, rusted from where we were from. All
salt on the road,
Oh, man, the undercarriage.
You don't get that problem here in Thailand. Car might get waterlogged from the flooding, but
not a whole lot of that happening in Southern California.
Transitioning to Thailand, moving here.
Yeah. So I think, for me, right, I started out as the infamous tourist.
Yeah.
Came here, loved it. Oh, my God, I got to come back. I started doing the thing, down in wherever I was, where I was in Pattaya, or whether I was in Phuket, or whether I was in Nakhon and all that. So,
didn't matter. You wanted to be here.
Absolutely. Wanted to be here as much as I possibly could. And but what about you? And what was your first intro to Thailand? As a tourist?
No. So technically, my first intro to Thailand was 2006. I accidentally crossed the border when backpacking in Cambodia.
Okay.
And crossed back into Cambodia, got arrested, spent the night in jail, blah, blah, blah.
In Cambodia?
In Cambodia.
For what?
The park rangers or whatever the fuck they were picked me up like coming out of the fucking jungle.
Okay.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm assuming
you're
that's
like,
what
I'm
they
hiking.
I'm assuming that's what they said to me in Khmer.
Right, exactly.
And basically, because that's what I would say to someone if I was in their job.
What the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Clearly, I'm going to arrest you.
And they were like, they spoke a little bit of English. They're like, oh, come with us.
Okay.
I was like, okay. Jumped in the back of their little Jeep thingy.
You're like, this is great. Free ride. I was fucking hiking all day. This is great. I'm taking a nap.
I was 3 hours back from where I was supposed to be. They took me in the other direction like 20 minutes. And like, in here. They put me in like a rebar and barbed wire cell.
Did they
by
get
myself.
asked for ID or anything like that?
I didn't have my passport. That was the issue. It was back in the hotel.
That's a bad thing to do. That's tip number one. And people are like, oh yeah, I leave my passport in the hotel. I leave it in the safe.
I don't take it with me. I keep a photo of my passport on my phone.
I always keep my passport with me.
Fuck that.
Why?
I keep it in the safe.
Do you not bring your driver's license with you when you go out?
I have a driver's license.
Yeah,
I bring that with me.
That's my point. Like, why? How is it any different?
No, because your passport's like a very sensitive. If you live overseas, you don't want to lose that.
Agreed.
So I don't take it out. I have a photo of it on my phone.
Yeah.
And I have my Thai driver's license.
And you get your photo, the visa.
Yeah. Photo of everything, work permit, visa, everything on there. So that is, what I take with me. But this was 2006. I'm in Cambodia. Right. It's in the hotel room.
Backpacking.
Yeah. So they go, they get it. Next day, they let me free. Right. Whatever.
But you literally slept that night in the friggin' jail.
On the dirt floor. Yeah.
You didn't. So did you tell them that like you had the hotel thing going on, or were you like,
we explained that, and they went out and did whatever, but they didn't let me go till the next day. And made me walk back.
Were you pissed, or were you just like, whatever? I'm just this fucking part of the process.
Great story to tell when I get back.
Exactly.
Spend the night in Cambodian jail, right?
You were the only one there?
No, there was 2 other guys sharing a cell across from me.
But you had your own cell.
Yeah,
well, that's cool.
They were threatening to kill me for most of the day. Probably the first couple hours.
Seriously, you're not joking?
No, that's it.
Were they Khmer guys?
Yeah.
Well, kill you for what?
I don't know. And I think they were just fucking with me.
Okay.
White, and I was young, right? So I was like in my 20s.
Okay.
And I was in my 20s, and little goofy.
Okay.
A little goofy. So big nerdy dude in the middle of Cambodia.
Yeah.
And they were just fucking with me,
okay,
just having
fine.
a good time.
Yeah. So you're just like, whatever, I'm gonna hang
they
out
were
here.
older. They were probably poachers or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be.
Given where I got picked up. But anyway,
so
besides the point.
So
that
that's
was
your first.
That was my
IO.
first accidental appearance, and I think that's the way they explained to me that it looked like I was coming from Thailand.
Illegally crossing the border. Okay, got it.
Whether or not that's the case, if I even crossed or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the story. Next time I came here was 2008.
Okay, so that was really when you came here.
First vacation here.
Yeah.
It was okay. I liked it.
Bangkok
And Ubon Ratchathani.
Okay.
Not bad. Good vacation. Overall, very relaxing. I was here for Songkran.
Okay.
Which was
very relaxing / I was here for Songkran. Those two things.
Well, I was in Songkran and Ubon Ratchathani.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, so it was more of the actual ceremony, none of this drunken Australians throwing ice water.
Well, drunken Thais throwing ice water.
There you go. That's cool.
But it was fun.
Well, their accent's cooler.
It was a good time.
There you go.
And good food.
Mm-hmm.
And so then in 2000, I came back in 2011.
Okay.
And then in 2013, I guess, I moved here to work on a PhD.
Okay.
At one of the universities.
Step back. So 2011.
Yeah.
You came here for another vacation after not being here for 3 years.
Yeah.
What was because for me, I never lasted. I was never away from Thailand for more than a year.
Oh, so
So how'd you go through?
I wasn't drawn to.
Really? Okay, so it wasn't like, oh my God.
I was vacationing other places, doing other things, living my life for those 3 years. I was an engineer, right?
Yeah,
so I was busy with shit.
Sure.
And but did I go anywhere as awesome as Thailand in those 3 years? No.
Yeah.
So
good point, right? Yeah.
2014, I'm sick of being an engineer.
Yeah.
Fucking hate my job. I shouldn't say I hate my job. It was a cool job when I started it.
Yeah.
But to me, it really just. An engineer at a MSO is really a dead end job.
MSO for people who don't know.
Yeah, it's a cable company.
Right.
To make it easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Multi-system operator.
Yeah. Right.
So, but I was an engineer, worked on the back end of the internet.
Yep.
All that cool engineer shit.
Sure.
Cool stuff, but it's essentially a dead end job, right?
Well, you're going to plateau. I mean, many guys like you, like even your buddies, right? They're doing that 20 years straight. Yeah. Same check, 3% raise every year, health benefits.
You'll make 6 figures for the vast majority of your career, but. That's it.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing, and it takes up way more of your time than it should for the amount of what you need to do, right?
So this is 2014. You're like, dude, I'm done.
Yeah, so 2013. So I'm like, I'm out of here. So I decided to apply for PhD programs overseas.
Okay.
Thailand, Hong Kong, Singapore, and then a few in Europe.
Okay.
And essentially got into every PhD that I applied for, fortunately. And I think when you're basically an American, like a white dude from America, applying to PhD programs overseas, and it's not like I wasn't applying to like top tier PhD programs, right? And they were still like selective, but it wasn't I never questioned that I would get into all.
What was going to be your focus?
ICT. So I was studying information communications technology,
for sure.
Which is my background.
Yeah.
And so in my master's, also in ICT.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, all right, I got into everything. But a lot of them, like, the real competitive part becomes in how you fund it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got the first program to actually accept me was in Thailand, and but from a different university, and they didn't give me funding.
Okay, yeah.
And so,
sure, you can come here if you pay us.
Yeah,
right?
and so they were like, they basically told me, sure, like, if you want to do another master's, you can have a full ride, but we don't have funding for PhDs.
Okay.
For this program, this particular program. So I was like, oh, well, obviously not for me, because it was intended to be like a part-time program, like a night program. So I was like, okay, that's not for me. And then I got into Hong Kong, to Singapore, to the two in Europe, and partial funding for pretty much all of those.
Okay.
And then the last one to accept me was the one in Thailand, and they gave me a full ride. And it came with like a stipend.
Thomasat, or where?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
SIT.
Yeah.
And which I would not recommend anyone go to.
It's all right.
Regardless.
Yeah.
So, but good scholarship opportunity. It's a stipend and all this other stuff. So jumped into it, and came out here, did the whole like education visa. Went to the consulate in Chicago, because you got to get the at the time, at least, you have to get that particular type of visa in your home country.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I know there are some that are still like that you need to do it in your home country. Yeah. And so
OA visa, for example. Yeah.
And so I did that, moved here, sold everything in the U.S. Boom, Thailand, and it was a good transition, especially because it was outside Bangkok, right? So it isolated me from a lot of other things for a little while, and really kind of allowed me to focus on what I was doing. But like then transitioning into other types of living here, like long term, like you meet a lot of people who, I know guys who have been here for 15 years on tourist visas.
Yeah, I know. Right, and sure. There's plenty of people breaking the law all over the world.
But you're not breaking the law. You're just skirting it,
okay.
Right? Like they're literally like going by the letter of the law. Like they leave for a day or two, they come back. So visa run is a big thing here, right? Like if you don't have a year-long visa or a multi-year visa, you'll hear people talk about, especially tourists, talk about, oh, I've got to do a visa run, and that means they're at the end of their 30, 60, or 90-day visa, and they have to go and leave the country, come back in, and get a new one. Yeah,
basically you leave, you come back in, you get a stamp for the amount of time that's good. In fact, I was planning on doing that. Yeah. My visa run, I get a stamp for a year, right? Because I have this retirement visa, the OA, that I got back in the United States. The idea was, okay, cool, I'll cruise over to Cambodia for like a day.
Scumbag.
Yeah, exactly. Because, basically, I mean, the only people that go there, other than backpackers that get arrested.
Yeah. No, you go there, you're a scumbag.
I'm a scumbag. So I'm over there. I'm thinking I'm going to cross the border and, get my scumbag check. Yeah. And then come back over, get the stamp. Bam, I can stay in Thailand for another year.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, my God, this COVID thing, no worries. Because I'll just be able to. And, if I leave Thailand right now, game over.
Game over.
I can go to Cambodia, and after basically 24 hours, I'm good to go. I can cruise around in Cambodia.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. All right, so that's true. So there are guys that are doing that, but you're here obviously like totally above board. Yep. You got your education visa. Now the transition into that, was it really? How much different was it than the transition to going to a university in the first year? In other words, you've got like the whole, not necessarily a dorm room, but you've got a place you live.
Let me talk about the dorm for a minute.
Oh, you stayed in the dorms?
I had to. It was
for your PhD?
Requirement for my scholarship.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And let me tell you about this bullshit fucking room they put me in.
Was it bigger than this?
No.
Okay.
Smaller than this.
Yeah, nice.
And then my room, and no windows.
And probably not a lot of soundproofing.
And no windows.
Oh, God.
I was in an interior room.
Yeah.
And I had to pay for it out of my stipend.
Okay.
And the woman in charge of housing for the university is a straight up racist. Hated white people.
Really?
Yeah. Barely spoke English.
Okay.
Hated white people.
Was this it's an international program, though, isn't it?
Supposed to be.
Okay.
So I'll get into that on another episode.
Yeah, clearly.
But yeah, so shitty room for the first year. I ended up moving into another studio off campus just because, I needed space. There's about 3 of these.
Just you? Or was it you sharing it with a roommate? Okay.
It was like $2,500 baht a month.
Air conditioning?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
For $2,500?
In Patsumtani, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. Right. Sure.
Like there was an elephant in my backyard.
Yeah. Right.
There's like literally some guy owned an elephant like illegally.
The way you woke up was roosters.
There were roosters. Like I was on the 5th floor though. I couldn't really hear them.
Okay.
But like there was a rice paddy right behind the apartment building.
Okay.
And there was literally a dude who owned a elephant illegally back there, and you would see him washing it in the fucking rice paddy.
Awesome.
And then like sometimes you see him at like 7-Eleven, like selling like you could 20 baht, you could feed the elephant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was maybe like it stood like maybe 6.5 feet.
Okay. So a mini.
It was baby.
Like an SUV.
Yeah,
basically.
but like in another year, it'd probably fucking kill like the city.
That's why people were feeding it.
But here's the and actually, so that building was right next to an international hospital called St. Carlos.
Okay.
Which was apparently completely staffed by Filipino doctors and nurses.
Okay.
So my building,
like a U.S. hospital, you mean?
Yeah. So basically, like a U.S. hospital. Well, why they use Filipino nurses and doctors? Because they speak English.
Yeah.
And they've got
customer
quality
service.
education.
Yeah, absolutely.
And customer service through the roof.
Yeah.
So it was basically a cosmetic surgery hospital for foreigners.
Perfect.
So my building packed with Filipino nurses and doctors.
Yeah.
All the nurses, like these short little cute Filipino chicks.
Right. 40 kilos, sure.
And they're living 4 to a room.
Yeah.
And they're basically they were all like friends. Mm-hmm. So there's like
yes, they all know each other too.
So there's like well I know because like they all like work together.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they knew each other before they came.
Yeah, okay.
But obviously because of the situation with their work, what they do is they all rented like I don't know, there's probably like 6 rooms between all of them. And then they would all share it 2 and 2. So they work 12-hour shifts.
Right.
So
hot bunk it, right?
Yeah, so 2 of them would sleep in the bed.
Yeah.
So there's only 1 bed.
Right.
But it was like a big like queen king size bed.
Yeah.
So 2 of them would sleep in the bed, and then the other 2 would work. And they all work 6 days a week.
Yep.
They got 1 day off.
Sundays they are off. Yeah.
And what do they do on their days off? They just drink and eat pork.
They all go to the mall together, and they sit outside. Yeah,
and then they come back and they
totally
come back to the rooms. And they either go up on the roof,
sit on the floor,
or they sat in front of the building, or they sat on the floor in their room.
Yeah,
sing karaoke.
Yep,
drink beer.
Sure,
and fucking
perfect,
and eat pork or whatever the fuck.
Well, and then they would also meet white guys.
Yes, well, so
they would all sit in the same.
Well, a lot of them would. Very, very willing to spend the night in my room often. I think if they just wanted to have a little bit more space or something,
and some air conditioning, maybe a hot shower.
Yeah. So none of them. They all rented the fan rooms.
Yes, right.
And the fan rooms are, you can cool it down, but it's still a fucking hot room.
If you don't have a window, you're bumming.
Well, they all have. There's big windows.
They had windows.
Like a little. So the bathroom in that room was out on the patio.
Okay.
So you could go out on the patio to use the bathroom.
Yeah. Empty slippers all over.
Yeah. So a lot of times these girls would hey, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah. Where you go?
Like
they would. Their English is much better than that.
Yeah, they spoke perfect.
Yeah, right. Hello, sir.
Some of them spoke better than me.
Yeah, right.
But so they would come back and they would I think they would work like 6 to 6.
Yeah.
So some of them who would come in at 6. And they go, oh, what are you up to tonight? You want to hang out? I'm like, hey, you want to come over and watch a movie?
Yeah.
Sure.
They're like, a movie? Yeah. A whole movie? You mean on your phone? No, actually, I've got the whole.
On the laptop.
Yeah. Together.
Yeah. So we sit on the bed, pop the laptop open. One thing leads to another.
So your experience basically being a total sex pat, as you're describing here in Thailand, but it was with Filipino chicks.
Filipino nurses. But they're like, hey, you want to hang out tonight?
Sure, I get it.
They'd see me coming in from the lab. They're like,
sure.
You working on schoolwork tonight?
Oh, yeah. No.
Come by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't my, I mean, in the Philippines, that wasn't I had to chase Gracie. I mean, not literally, right?
Yeah.
But I had to court her kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
same with Jib. Like when I met Jib, I had to, we went out, I had to put on the smoothness. Obviously not so smooth when you say it like that.
But it was still better than dating in the United States.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I was so pleased with that. All right, so you're over here, so you're doing this.
So I'm banging 5 Filipinos
of course
a
you are.
week.
Right. Yeah, good for you. Keeping yourself fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching clearly a shitload of movies too. With the girls back in the
half a movie.
Right,
usually.
right. Yeah, there you go.
A shitload of half movies.
Right. Yeah. You're like, I tell you what, why don't 5 minutes in, you want to get some popcorn? Or
actually, so one time This is the fucked up story. I shouldn't say this.
Jib listens to this podcast, right? I mean,
she's listening live as we're recording it.
Perfect.
No, this is all before I met Jib.
Of course, yeah.
But I was I watched a movie one night with a girl. And I downloaded whatever the fucking movie was. It was like brand new at the time.
Okay.
It's like 2013, 2014. I download this movie, and she comes over, and we watch the first half of it.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Like,
You're pretty smooth.
yeah, the first half of the movie, and then the next day, the girl who is on the opposite shift in her room with her is like, "Hey, I heard you have this movie. Can I come over and watch?"
My God. Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to talk. I mean, come on. Not only are they girls, but they're Filipinas.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I thought I was like, obviously she knows what happened. I was like, yeah, sure. You want to come over
You want to
tonight?
watch it? Sure, because I haven't watched the second half of the fucking thing. But cruise over. I tell you what. Instead of coming over at 7, come over about 7:45.
Yeah.
I'll be into the movie, and then we can just watch it through the credits.
Still haven't watched the second half.
Sure, that way I'm not literally cheating on you in comparison to your friend. We're doing something completely different. So therefore, it's a different dating scheme.
But yeah, then like they would all invite me to come over to their rooms and like sing karaoke.
Wasn't that I found very interesting is that yes, all that stuff would happen, but and again, we're talking about the Philippines for God's sake. None of this is, but it's this Filipino culture thing. Like many of them would invite me.
Yeah.
Like, and I would be the only guy there.
Yeah.
And at first I thought, okay, well, I mean, they don't all want to date me.
Yeah.
But they all just like wanted to hang out. Would you get a lot of questions like, well, in America, do they in America? Yeah. So I get okay.
Yeah. So but like there were times where it was like a little awkward because I'd be in the room and it's like I've slept with 7 of the 8 girls here.
Yeah, that's
like the past 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
And they're all cool. They all know, obviously.
Yeah,
like, it's not,
sure. Right.
Like I don't think anyone's keeping secrets from each other there.
No. Yeah.
And there was no fighting over me.
Yeah.
I mean, if I left, when I was unavailable, I'm sure they replaced me with someone else immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, why not?
There was definitely no waiting. There was,
I'm sure there were plenty of other people standing in line. That's good.
Waiting for that situation.
Okay, so obviously you're doing your PhD, and you got through, what, a couple years of it? I know you didn't.
4 or 5, yeah.
And you were just like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Okay, but so, again, to the whole, like, transitioning part. So you went from pretty much like, okay, I went there a couple times, and then I moved there for a purpose other than to continue my tourism.
So I was, no matter where I ended up, I probably would have ended up, maybe not Singapore, but no matter where I ended up, I probably would have ended up a resident of that.
Yeah, okay.
That location or somewhere else immediately following that, not the United States.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because for my transition, I would submit it's probably a little bit more common, like for the guys that are listening, watching, that sort of thing, in the sense that, like, I touristed, I tried to tourist more, and then I came over here full time as a tourist.
How many years did you tourist for here? 20?
No, 6.
6.
Yeah. So I came over here first in 2013.
Oh, so you were doing Latin America before Asia?
No, just Mexico. Mexico's not
just
Latin
Mexico.
America. It's just fucking South America.
It's just South California.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, let me tell you something. Oh, my God. Of all the silly land deals the United States ever did, we should have just gobbled up the whole Baja.
Right.
We just should have kept going south. Say, look at Mexico. You can have all that nonsense south of Texas, but we're taking this whole Baja thing. Oh my God, it would have been so much better. They would have changed it into a giant spa. So the whole Baja.
The other day on your live stream, you were talking about the border in San Diego.
Yeah.
At the beach.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, it's a wall and it jets out into the ocean.
Yes.
So I went and fucking looked at Googled.
See the pictures of it? Yeah.
And it's like literally people like sunbathing on both sides of the wall.
Yeah.
But it's not that long. Like, you could swim out past that.
Okay, so again, it depends when the pictures are taken, right?
Yeah.
Lower tide, obviously, it looks like it's longer, right?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But it goes down too, and then there's sensors all the way into the dirt, right? So yeah.
Okay, yeah, but if I swim out,
well, then it's not going to go out 10 miles. The point is that it's supposed to be out there far enough such that if you're going to swim out there, we're going to be able to notice you by the time you get to the end to go around. Because let's face it, you could paddle a boat out, 1 mile. And then just,
well, it looks like it only goes out like maybe 100 feet.
Yeah, probably. But it's underground though too. It's not just the visible part at the top.
Yeah, but as long as that's underwater, I can get over it.
Yes, you can, but they're going to know it. Did you see that? Well, you probably did. Okay, so there's cameras everywhere. Yeah.
But even if I go over the sensors and they know that something crossed over it, I can, if I'm on say I take a paddle board out, like a surfboard.
Sure, yeah.
Paddle
Stand
out
up
100 feet.
paddleboard. Yeah.
right? Get out past it, cross over where the wall is.
That's as far as you get. They're literally our Marines. They're there.
Really?
Yeah, dude. As a white dude in Coronado, if I'm cruising along the beach, which is basically south of like the Hotel Del, which is like kind of, there are 2 orange cones just on the beach. And if you're never been there before, you're like, okay. And there's no rope. There's no that. You go across those cones, and that is where the SEALs train.
Okay.
And then there are Marines up in what kind of looks like a more sophisticated lifeguard tower.
Yeah.
So these Marines are like hanging out up there, and they're sitting there. And they got there. You walk 2 feet into that thing. Yeah. These guys literally run out. They're like, sir, you got to turn around. I mean, armed, fatigues, that sort of thing. And this is not that far away from where like the average tourist would go. I mean, if you live there, you know this.
Yeah.
But I have seen like full families go in there and guys run out. I mean, it is very. So that's just like to keep the U.S. people where the U.S. people should go.
Yeah.
On the beach there, first of all, they have horses, right?
Okay.
And then again, there's just cameras everywhere.
But the Marines have horses on the beach?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so San Diego is a very interesting spot because, again, to begin with, it's a military town originally.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's biotech and, technology, basically Qualcomm and everything else. So there's that. But then there's like the protection and then add on, like we were talking about earlier, 9/11 to all that, right?
Yeah.
So you've got Harbor Patrol, you've got, oh my God, what's the name of it? It was the newer sort of defense.
ICE?
So there's Border Patrol for sure.
DHS?
It's Department of Homeland Security. You've got the Navy. You've got the Coast Guard. I mean, they are all there.
Okay, so obviously slightly more fortified than the invisible border I crossed between Cambodia and Thailand.
It's ridiculous to the point where, like in San Diego, when when Trump was running, right, he's like, I'm going to build a wall between. Everyone in San Diego was like, dude, you have no idea. First of all, there's 2 walls.
Yeah,
and then but the point is that. That was Mexico. But as you mentioned, I mean, there's people on one side, there's people on the other. The Mexicans aren't on the other side looking at the wall going, oh my God, paradise on the other. They're just like, okay, whatever, there's a wall there, and there's tunnels and there's,
Yeah, and there's beach on both sides of the wall.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
But anyway, so 6 years you were traveling between.
Yeah, so and again, I came over here and I was probably the standard classic guy that's like never experienced anything like, for the sake of argument, Pattaya, Nana, soy cowboy. I mean, it's just like, that does not exist anywhere in the United States.
No. Vegas is like a kiddie playground compared to soy cowboy,
When
Pattaya.
people say, like, I was going to Vegas for conferences and they're like, oh, what are you going to do in Sin City? I'm like, you have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Like, if you think Amsterdam is off the rails, bro, there is nothing in the world like fucking soy six.
No.
In Pattaya.
Not even close.
So I come over here, obviously, kid in a candy store. Oh my God. I last basically less than 90 days back in the United States. I'm like, I'm coming back here for Songkran.
Yeah.
So I experienced Songkran like Songkran is Songkran. Because I'm single and I'm like.
So you did Songkran in Pattaya or in Bangkok?
Both. I came because you know what happens.
I came and then I came again.
Sequentially, right?
Yeah.
So in other words, Songkran,
7 days.
Yes, but it's basically like the first 3 or 4 days before it really happens in Pattaya. It's happening up here in Bangkok.
Yeah.
So I did it in Bangkok. I get off at the Nana exit. I walk down. I stayed right behind the JW on the other side of Nana, right? So I experienced it there for like 2 to 3 days. Then I get in the cab. Then I go down to Pattaya and experience it for a week. Changed my life.
So I did. So I can.
As you might guess.
I've never been to Songkran and Pattaya. I did Songkran on Khao San Road, not Koh San Road. Khao San Road.
Where all the cows are.
I told Jib that. And she's like,
oh, for the love of God, you give me so much shit. His Thai wife, bless her heart. I mean, I can hear her eyes rolling right now when she thinks about my fucking pronunciation.
I'm like, guess what Mike used to call Khao San Road? She's like, what? I'm like, Koh San Road.
She's like, the island?
The island road? What the fuck is wrong with him?
So I never did. I did Koh San Road, Khao San Road. I did that. Khao San. I did that like a couple of years ago with Gracie. We were meeting another YouTuber over there because he was staying there and he was cheap. And
he's a scumbag. Scumbag stay over
he was
there.
totally a scumbag.
Did he have dreadlocks? A white dude?
No, but he was a white dude, and he was like in his 60s, and he was like, okay, so you told me the story about this is Bangkok Strange. You're going to come over here, and you're going to meet expats.
Yeah.
And some of them are going to be like, okay, yeah, I came over here to get my degree, or I came over here to start a business, or I'm like doing...
I wanted to, some people like, I want to work remotely. They live here.
Do that shit. And then you're going to get the guys that are total scumbags.
Yeah.
Okay, and this guy was a total scumbag, but on YouTube, he was so judgmental of everybody else. I never go to hookers. So we sit down. Gracie's with me.
Yeah.
And he starts talking about how all of this gay sex is happening and how it so offends him as a Christian and all of these ladyboys everywhere. And like at a pretty loud voice. I'm like, dude, you've been here before, right?
Yeah.
You know these ladyboys can kick your ass.
Some of them, Nong Rose.
Oh, Katai, ahoy. And so I was just like, okay, whatever. So anyway, so we left. That was my only Khao San Road experience. Point is that I came over here and like I'm gonna say, and I actually got a video on this that's coming out on my channel, but I got the patia out of my system.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did.
And then you also got the patia in your system.
Yeah, and then but there's ointment for that.
There's ointment
and
for
there's
that.
a shot
Penicillin.
for that. Absolutely. So I left that unscathed. And then was like, okay, well, this place is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then, so my point is that I did the full-on tourist thing, and then I said, okay, well, now I want to like move over here and like actually move my life over here. I don't necessarily want to get another degree, but I do want to do some business over here as well as be a tourist. But you, I mean, how, like, for example, when you were over here doing your PhD, how long did it take you before you went on your first like vacation as a tourist? I mean, PhD, that's full tilt boogie, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, I was deep in it. And like, so obviously you go to conferences and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a conference in Phuket, I did Penang, conference in Penang. And then I was also working as an MMA referee. So I was traveling all over Asia.
Yeah. So you're going to school and working.
Yeah, as an MMA referee. And so China, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, I refed all over.
But I mean, I've been to conferences there too. I've been to conferences all over the world too. You don't do a whole lot of vacationing, unfortunately.
Academic conference. I mean, I also never really took it super seriously. I present my paper.
Yeah, and then
like I'm not hanging around for
listening. Yeah, sure, I get it.
This is the thing. Like, unless it was someone who had a paper in my research area that I'm like, oh, maybe I can reference their paper or we can work together on some research.
Wasn't happening.
But I mean, in a PhD level, like your research topics are so niche.
Yeah.
The likelihood of you running into someone on a similar topic in ICT at least. I'm sure in biology or medicine it's much broader, and there's a lot more
social sciences.
There's a lot more people doing research in those fields. But in ICT, I'm like, I was doing power constrained sensor node addressing optimization. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Like either other people in ICT don't know what that is, and I don't know what their topics are.
Yeah, exactly.
So
right, sure.
Unlikely that I run into someone. I think the only other paper I ever saw presented at a conference, someone did dynamic mobile addressing for VANet, vehicle networks.
Oh, okay.
And very cool.
It's IoT kind of related. Yeah,
very cool paper, but ended up being completely unrelated to my work. Yeah. So.
But the point is, you'd be there, you'd present, and then you would like, go to the beach for like 2 or 3 days, or what?
Hit the beach.
Nice.
Come back for the buffet every lunch, and that way
because you got your lanyard.
Yeah.
So therefore,
you got the lanyard. You're entitled to that buffet.
Absolutely, dude. I'm there for the breakfast.
$1,000 to attend a fucking academic conference and have your paper published.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely bugging out at the buffet every day.
No, totally.
Hit the gym, hit the beach.
It's an academic conference, so you can bring your backpack in, and no one will think anything of it. Put a shitload of food in there. Head back to the Filipinas.
Academic conferences are like. Essentially they're always at like destination locations.
Yeah, for sure, of course.
Whereas like a lot of industry conferences are Vegas,
Atlanta, Orlando.
Yeah,
and then Barcelona basically was a big one in Europe.
And then there's a couple in the Caribbean, but
yeah.
But for academic conferences like Turks and Caicos or Phuket or.
Even Pattaya, they have a conference center there, but I mean that's kind of tough to convince your loved ones.
I've been to an academic conference in Pattaya.
Okay.
And there was a lot of extracurriculars going on.
Of course, yeah, that's what happens there.
And you see professors who like you know they're married.
Yeah, they get bow tie, perfect.
Out on Walking Street.
they go onto Soy 7 and slap down their leather briefcase right at the bar. And be like, can we have a discussion?
They're like, oh my God, I'm so shocked about all what's going on here. Like 2 hours later, they're doing lines of coke off ladyboy dicks.
Absolutely. It's like, this makes complete sense.
Tony Hughes is holding their head over the toilet.
We definitely have to.
It's all right, buddy. You got it. Don't lose your shit.
Just whatever you do, just don't start shooting anything into your veins unless I'm here present with you and I have some drinking water to assist you.
To reconstitute. If you guys have not listened to the entirety of the Tony Hughes episode, it is a trip.
That's a great one. And we're getting multiple hundred views on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you said like over 300 downloads in the first week.
That one's almost at 1,000.
Awesome. Now. That's so great. Yeah.
And one, he's a very interesting character.
For sure.
Two, I mean, he was just, and people said it in the comments, he's so open and honest.
Yeah, right.
I think someone even said if more people had conversations like this, the world would be a better place.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, look, you can judge him for like what he does just because it's potentially different than what.
And we will because we're human.
Well, I think when I judge, then I'm judging myself. But yeah, so that's a great one. So we talk about that. Okay, so you're doing this thing, and you're like 2 years in, and I'm over here, and I'm like a couple of months in, and everything, and now I start friggin' living here.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, when I was touristing here, I did many things that I think a lot of tourists do not do. So like literally my first trip, I set up a bank account. I didn't know why I was doing it, but I just said, okay, yeah, I should just go. I'm here in Central Festival.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, the way it works in malls is there will be an entire floor
of banks.
Yeah, and there's literally every single bank.
And every cell phone company.
Every cell phone company, and then all of the restaurants will be on one floor, And the
if you go to Science Paragon, there's plastic surgery centers on one floor.
Buy an auto, cars.
Yeah, buy your Bentley and get your boob implants.
Yeah.
Same floor.
Why not? I mean, the women go one way. I mean, I'm not chauvinistic at all.
No.
But there is very easy ways of doing
So
things.
let's talk about opening up a bank account. Because, so I have an interesting story of that. If you're an American, there are restrictions for foreign banks that have economic relations with the U.S., that they have to file certain paperwork for every American account holder.
Mm-hmm.
And so for that reason, I was denied the first bank account that I went to open on. So my university set it up to take me to the branch of TMB on campus, which is where they brought all the students. Mm-hmm. So 2 girls from Bhutan, a dude from like Vietnam, or a dude from Cambodia, and me all go together, and they're like, account. Whoa, American.
No, sure.
Slow your roll, homie.
No, it's a lot of.
We're not doing that for you.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I didn't understand the financial thing. And, obviously, once they explained to me, they're like, oh, there's all this additional paperwork, but this is the Thai military bank, so they've opted not to do that.
Yeah.
Makes total sense, right? And if I was the military bank of a country, I wouldn't do that either. And so they took me to Bangkok Bank,
of course,
which said, oh, you're an American, you'd like to have a bank account? Please fill out these papers.
We got a branch in New York City, dude.
Yeah, so actually, if you're an American, you should have a Bangkok bank account simply for the fact that it's very cheap and easy to transfer cash because you have a U.S. routing number.
Yeah, so the ACH process, believe it or not, and to do that, you need a dual currency account, right? So you Thai and it doesn't really exist any longer. They don't really have that system anymore. You can't like ACH money into Bangkok Bank like you would ACH money from U.S. Bank to Bangkok.
No, but if you were getting
Bank of America.
No, but if you were getting a direct deposit from a U.S. company, you can direct deposit directly into a Bangkok bank account. I do it with.
Do you use the ACH routing number? U.S.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you had to do Swift code once you did that now.
If you have Bangkok Bank, you can use the routing number.
Well, that's good. I mean, I had that for a while, and I had the dual currency account and for like 2-3 years, and then I moved to Cha-Am, and I'm like, you know what, dude? I've never used this U.S. money. Just convert it all, close the other account.
So no other Thai bank has a branch in the U.S.
Correct. Yes, just Bangkok.
And so if you're an American or you're gonna be getting paid from an American company, Bangkok bank account, use the U.S. routing number and your Thai account number, and you're good to go. And
then you basically have this American currency essentially in your Thai bank account here.
They'll convert it for you to.
Oh, you can set it up to. Okay.
There's a slight fee, but it's still cheaper than Swift.
Yeah, for sure.
TransferWise is probably the way to go.
TransferWise is amazing. I moved like $20,000 over here, right? Because I was doing that investment in the company, And I did it in $9,000 chunks. So each chunk was less than 10,000.
Not flagging.
Exactly. And then when it was 9,000, because if you don't know, like on your income tax, you basically need to report. And again, this is a very soft thing. Anything over $10,000 in aggregate. Like if you have 5 accounts with $2,000 in each one, you got to do it. So I wanted to make sure I always had less than $10,000 in any given day over in Thailand, basically in one account, and then I would transfer it. So I did that. And so to transfer $9,000, it cost me $150 in fees.
Yeah.
People might be like, oh, my God, yeah, that's crazy. Yes, well, the exchange rate they gave me was ridiculous. It was like literally 10% better than Bank of America.
Nice.
Which, of course, the fees are free.
Yeah.
But the exchange rate is ridiculous. It was like 28 versus 31.
Wow.
Yeah. Big delta, right?
Huge.
So anyway, so I did that. But so I agree with that. But Casacorn also provided me with great customer service.
I have SCB. A lot of people hate on SCB. I've never had an issue with my SCB account.
What sort of stories have you heard? I mean, from expats? Not like
from expats. A lot of people are like, oh, like the customer service is bad, or you call and you don't get an English speaker on the international line. I've never had that happen to me.
Me too. Same. Casacorn. Press 2 for English.
Yeah, and like usually it's usually a girl. Right, because just the way it unfolds.
Well, sometimes when you press English, it's a Philippine call center.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah. They're like, hello, sir. I'm like, oh, I know what that sound is.
So usually, like, I've never had it happen where it wasn't someone who spoke more than sufficient English for what I needed.
Yeah.
And I've never had, and like I've had stupid issues with SCB. Like I didn't take my my debit card out of the machine on time.
Yeah, sure, right.
And it fucking ate my
Sucks
card.
yeah.
And it was a non-SCB ATM.
Right.
And I was like, I'm an asshole. I lost my card. And she's like, oh, sir, you opened your account at this branch. I'll send the notice now. Please go pick up your new card. Bring your passport.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, thank you.
And it's what, 300 baht a year?
No, I pay nothing.
Okay, so that's weird. So I pay like 300 baht a year, I've noticed, for my ATM Visa card thingy.
I think it depends on like your minimum balance type
Probably.
of thing.
I have like the lowest version of the savings account. Like I can't write checks or anything like that.
So I don't have checks either, but I have like whatever I signed up for is free.
Yeah.
But I think like I have to, like, the minimum balance to maintain is 2,500 baht,
Right.
$60.
Yeah, exactly.
If I were to dip below 2,500
Then-
baht, they'd be like, hey, 24 baht a month or something like that.
That's probably what. Yeah, in fact, I think that's probably what I did. I just said, well, just give me how much money do I have to put in? Oh, we can give you an account where there's no minimum balance.
Yeah.
Is what I heard.
Yeah.
I didn't hear. Oh, and P.S.
Yeah.
$10 a year for the ATM, which is whatever. It's $10.
But at the same time, like, to pay fees for something, I'm like, if I could just keep money.
Yeah.
And not that you really make interest. It's like 1%.
Yeah,
not
no,
even.
it's ridiculous,
Yeah.
but whatever.
But so you should definitely open a bank account in part of your transition. And like I say, if you plan to be paid from America, Bangkok Bank. But you're saying that the routing is no longer active?
I was told that you can no longer do that, and you can no longer use the the physical branch apparently is there, but it's not like they have offices inside.
No.
So but again, I
well, they
hadn't
do have
done
staff. They have staff in New York.
Yes, but it's not like they have like tellers and that sort of thing.
No.
There's no.
It's not a retail bank.
Exactly, it's not a retail bank. So, but again, that's what I had heard, but I hadn't tried it myself. I have absolutely ACH'd before when I got it.
So I've done it as recently as a year ago.
Yeah, so I mean, they may have canceled it in the last year. I don't know. The bottom line is that, like you say, transfer-wise,
I
mean, next finish. I do that on my phone less than 48 hours later.
Yeah, I set it up. I had to pay a shop in England for an order I placed for my scissors.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do PayPal, and because of their wholesale. So I'm a wholesale buyer.
Yeah.
And they only take PayPal for retail orders.
Fine.
And they're on 2 separate billing.
Fair enough.
So I was okay. And the way that they take bank transfer is only in sterling. Right, only in pounds.
Okay.
So British company
went through TransferWise, converted it. Yeah.
And so to do that, it was cheaper, and the conversion rate was better than doing it directly through my bank.
Yeah, crazy, right?
And so I was like, okay, so I saved like $100.
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
using
right?
TransferWise.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Richard Branson, huge initial investor in that company.
Really?
Yeah, I was a big fan.
Great company, but that's definitely something if you transition here to know. I think the other thing that we should really talk about is housing.
Yeah,
So-
that's for sure. I mean, it's,
Because
again,
a lot of people come here and they Airbnb
Yeah.
for a month or two.
which is fine initially.
expensive.
It is, but get your feet wet, as they say.
Yeah, I think the other thing is take time, take that. You should like Airbnb for a month or two and explore different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Because every neighborhood offers something different.
And there are hundreds of neighborhoods in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Bangkok is gigantic.
But basically, if you're a foreigner living here, you want to live on the Sukhumvit line.
I would completely agree with that.
To me, the Siloam line is really nice, but it might as well be America, given how often I go there. Right?
And
So-
I would say that you probably want to live less than about a 10-minute walk from. If you're new here,
Yeah, if
you're
you're
a
new.
veteran
Yeah.
and you're living like 1.4 kilometers away.
Yeah.
I walk it. I like the walk, but there's also these little buses.
You walk from your place to my place, right?
No,
Oh.
I'm gonna actually on the way home. I'm gonna cruise down the side streets.
Okay.
Because the back. But yeah, no, I walk up to Punawiti.
Okay.
And then I cruise over to Bangkok, obviously the one stop, and then I walk down. But yeah,
I thought
mean,
you were walking, like, 'cause remember we talked about that side road?
Yeah.
Like, I think you can cut through that.
And there's like a little bridge, I think.
Yeah, it cuts over the canal.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked that with my friend Troy the other night.
Oh, you didn't tell me. So did you make it all the way over to?
No, because there was like a pack of dogs sleeping on the bridge. And it was
Yeah.
like dark.
Okay.
And it was like midnight when we went out.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm
that's
like,
a
I don't
little-
want to wake these dogs
totally,
up
they're
over
gonna-
a fucking dirty ass canal at
yeah.
midnight.
Right.
Because, so here's the like in Bangkok, like in Pathum Thani, street dogs will fucking chase you. If you're on a scooter, they'll
Territorial.
fucking yeah.
Yeah.
In Bangkok, not the case. There are street dogs, soy dogs
Everywhere.
every fucking where.
Yeah.
They don't even bark.
No, if
They
you
just-
look at them, they're like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Most of the time, they're like, I'm just trying to lay in front of the door of 7-Eleven
Yeah.
so I get some cool air.
Yeah.
Leave me the fuck alone. And 7-Eleven will let the dogs walk inside. Like it's
And lay down.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
they'll shoo them out, but
eventually.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like I've seen when I lived in Pathum Thani, there was a 7-Eleven and the Slurpee machine would always drip. And the fucking dog would come in and
Sure.
lick the
Yeah.
Slurpee off the floor.
And they're probably like, well, if I don't have to fucking clean it up, this
Yeah.
is great.
Exactly.
He's not making 300 baht a day, and I don't have to do this.
Yeah, this dog's got diabetes, whatever. So I agree, right? You should live close to the BTS when you first get here, but get an Airbnb for a month or two.
Yeah.
And visit the different neighborhoods. Like if you like music, you like going out, like Tonglo is probably a pretty good area for you. There's a lot of clubs, a lot of bars, a lot of live performance going on.
Yeah,
over
depending
there.
on your age and exactly what you like.
If you're just like a straight up dirty ass sexpat, move to Asok or Nana and just go smash prostitutes every night
Yeah.
until you're broke.
Right.
Because those are the two areas you can do that pretty easily. Right? Soy Cowboy or Nana.
The other thing, too, is if you live near the BTS, you put one of those dating app things on your phone.
Yeah.
And they won't ask you where you live. They'll say, what BTS stop are you near?
Yeah.
And then they'll just come to you,
Yeah, very much.
so to speak.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
So
Asking for a friend.
yeah, and then but a car, of course, is also your budgetary concern. So I would say from Siam Square going out to the north part of the city to Victory Monument, and then coming this way to Asok. And I would say actually out to Tonglo, Ekamai. Those are like the really the more expensive areas.
Yeah.
So like I've lived in Asok before at a dope place, but I needed more space, and two, the vibe in Asok wasn't really what I wanted to live
It's
around.
not as Thai.
It's not as high, and also it's like I lived there because it was close to a client,
Of course.
right? And I could walk to their office, but I wouldn't choose to live in Asok if I could pick anywhere to live in the city. The chunk of stops that I live in now is probably my first choice.
The other thing I would say is that as far as like obviously there's more expat areas,
Yeah.
right? I mean, if you walk down basically from Sukhumvit, if you walk down all the way to the top of, say, Lumpini,
Yeah.
I mean, that reeks of expats.
Well, that's
highest density right there.
Planchit.
Yeah, exactly.
Planchit, Chitlom, yeah.
And Chitlom specifically, if you walk down that road, I mean, there's one like U.S.
Chitlom and Planchit, that's where the U.S. Embassy
Yeah.
is. But also, a lot of Europeans live there.
Tons of French, yeah.
Very expensive area to live in, but some really amazing places to live.
Yeah, and if you're living in a high rent area in the United States, for example, like if you're coming over from San Diego or like Boston, right,
Yeah.
in New York City, and you come over here, you're like, yeah, you guys said this was expensive. It's only $2,000 a month,
Yeah.
but that's a shitload of money over here.
Yeah. So
for like
I've been in that $2,000 range. Like
Yeah.
when I rented the penthouse
Sure.
in Aso,
Right.
It's like $2,000 a month, like a little bit less, 60,000
Yeah.
baht.
But as guys who've lived here a while, we're like, God, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but I was paying for location.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right?
Sure.
The size, obviously, it was big.
Yeah.
About half the size of where I live now.
Show off.
3 times the cost.
Yeah. But location, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you could spit to the friggin' BTS.
No, I was between the BTS and MRT.
Yeah.
So I could go anywhere.
Literally anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, good thing, and I was also walking distance to Paula.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Which is the
obviously,
best pizza place in town.
Best pizza place in the world.
So I hear.
In the world.
Yeah. You've taken me there. We have to try some other places.
No, there's no other places to try. Don't even waste your time.
I want to. I don't necessarily want to always.
There are actually no other pizza places in Bangkok because Paula is so good. The rest
All
of them
have
closed down.
Now that there's no foreigners to go to these places. That is gourmet pizza. How much did we spend eating there for lunch? Easily 2,000.
No, it was at Paula.
Yeah.
Maybe
because you had like 2 orders.
Well, I got the soup.
The portions
I got the pizza.
And I got soup too. That's right.
Yeah. So it's probably like 1,800.
Yeah, it was almost. Yeah, I know we spent over 2,000 at that Mexican place.
Yeah.
That was good Mexican food.
No, not for you. For me, it's okay Mexican food.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I will. It's not. It wasn't horrible.
A Californian would not say that was good.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It wasn't great.
I would say
that's
probably the best place for Mexican in Bangkok.
The whole city, that's the best place?
For the most part, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That bums me out.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right, anyway.
So Tex-Mex is like really the style.
Yeah, and that's bullshit.
That's
Mexican
the style
food.
du jour here.
That's not. It's called Tex-Mex because it's fucking Tex.
Yeah.
You don't want Texican food. You want fucking Mexican food.
Here's it like Sunrise, I feel is like much more of a Tex-Mex place.
Okay.
And so we went to Cali-Mex.
Yeah, right.
Which isn't Tex-Mex, but it's not like really fresco Mexican. So it's somewhere
the
in
funny
the
thing about Cali-Mex, when you told me that's what it's called, that's actually the name of a chain of a real bunch of shitty grocery stores in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, dude, seriously, you're taking me to Circle K, basically, is what I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean,
something's afoot at the Circle K. So, and that was on Soy 11 as well.
Ted.
But yeah. No problem, Bill. But there's that was okay place. But yeah, no, Paula's not cheap, but it shouldn't be because it's so fucking good.
It is really, really good. Yes, I agree with you.
Now, how good you had the Bosquiola with the sausage?
Oh, I don't remember shit like that. I had good pizza. Don't forget when I got there, I'm like, what kind of pizza should I order?
I was like this and this.
You're like, I'm all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, all I'm going to do is walk in and say, "Give me a pepperoni pizza."
Yeah.
That is what
Oh, you did. You got the Daviola.
The Daviola. Yeah. But it's like Daviola. I'm like, what? No, pepperoni. I'm not sophisticated, dude. I just like good food.
Other pizza places, you go there and you'll see Thais putting ketchup on pizza.
Yeah.
And so I was at Paula, and one of the reasons I know I love Paula and why they're the best.
They were like, don't.
So someone asked for ketchup.
Oh.
And the waitress, she's like, mind me.
Good.
Don't have.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And they're like, there's no French fries on their menu. There's nothing that would require ketchup.
Got it. Okay, fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, mind me.
So that's Paul. So okay, so you come over here and you're doing, but I will tell you, I completely agree with the whole, 1 month or 2 month in Airbnb because it's next finish, bam, and you find a place to go. The other nice thing is a lot of Airbnbs over here, traditionally Thai owners.
Yep.
And locals usually speak pretty decent English.
For the most part, yeah.
They will give you a lot of great recommendations.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
And what you need to, what I believe is a smart thing to do. Do not stay in your Airbnb and watch TV.
No.
Get out every single day.
Who would do that? Who would come to Bangkok and stay
Friends of mine. He was on his second day, and he's like staying over off of the BTS in like Crown Point, Crown Plaza, something like this. I mean, expensive, effectively, like 3,000 baht a night kind of thing. And he's like, I'm on my second day here, and I just can't get my internet to work. I'm like, dude, walk down to a 7-Eleven, ask any girl under 30 years old to do your cell phone for you, say, I need SIM, she will literally take care of it.
Yeah.
The person behind the cash register will program your phone with it. Just don't worry. Just hand them the money, hand them your passport, and hand them, and so guys make things more complicated.
Life is pretty easy here, but definitely talk about area that you live in. If you move to Bangkok, find an area that you jive with, that you love. I've actually lived in areas that are not on the BTS.
Okay.
So I lived in Prachani Wet, which is probably if the train legitimately went there, they're on that new fucked up extension that goes to Mochit 2. Then you gotta take a
what's
bus.
up with Mochit? It's green. That's bizarre. Why don't they just make it fucking Mochit?
It's weird, but Prachaniwet is the nicest neighborhood. It's like it's got tree-lined streets,
really,
sidewalks you can walk on.
Oh, we got to put some. We'll put the link to Google Maps in the show notes because I want to figure out what this place is.
It's fucking beautiful. So I lived in a condo complex. There was a Tops in the first building.
There you go.
So I could do all my grocery shopping. There was a great coffee shop called V Cafe.
Okay.
The owner was a collector of like toys and knickknacks, so the whole shop was just filled with cool vintage toys and no, but I mean like he had like 700 Popeye statues, the same thing. Like,
you sure he wasn't a scumbag? I mean, Popeye statues in Cambodia. That just kind of says to me.
No, he's not from Cambodia.
All right, fair enough.
So yeah, he was a good dude. He had Darth Vader mask. Like,
okay, he just kicked it up a notch. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That clarified it for me right there.
Gundam, like 30 Gundams on the wall.
All you need is the one Darth Vader. You're good.
Yeah,
you're my buddy now.
In good coffee. He would.
Okay.
He knew I like cold brew, so he goes out and he buys like a $100 cold brew tower.
Nice.
He starts making ice drip coffee.
Fucking customer service,
right?
Huge,
next level.
Nice work.
I come in like he's giving me free snacks.
Oh yeah, well yeah, of course, because you're buying cold brew, which is basically bean water that cost him a nickel to make.
It takes like a day.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there is the delta. So hot coffee actually is even cheaper. Yeah, that's true.
And then they've got to put the ice in and time.
Expensive.
No, it's cheap. It's like local prices.
Okay. Rent. I apologize. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
No, it was super cheap to rent there. It was a little bit less than what I pay here.
How far away was the closest BTS/MRT?
So that's the problem, right?
Far?
So you could go to Bangsa or you could go to Chatuchat.
Okay.
And it's like a 20-minute ride by scooter.
20-minute on a scooter.
Yeah.
It takes me 20 minutes to walk here.
Yeah.
And one could argue that they would be like, why are you walking? Like, Jib is like, why the fuck are you walking? Why aren't you taking the Songkran?
So to go to Bangsa is quicker. It's like less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
But Bangsa is like, this is before the extension on
to the
went
MRT.
there, yeah. And so you could go to, so I would have to go to, what was the old end of the line?
MRT, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the station off the top of my head. But you could go there, or you could go to Bangsa, and about 10 minutes. But to get to Chatuchat, if you want to get right on the BTS, you have to go to. Bangsa was the old end of the station. Yeah, Bangsa is the end. So, no, then there was Tapun was the extension.
Yeah, Bangwa is
BTS.
BTS.
BTS Silom line.
Right.
No, so Bangsa was the end of the station, but then they opened Tapun, which was a little closer.
Yeah, right. Okay. But again, you have to get in a vehicle to get there in 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Get on a scooter, yeah.
Scooter, okay, yeah.
And then to go to Chatuchat's like 20 minutes because you got to turn around on Wipavadi and cut cut through the railway, which is scary as fuck.
Some people might be like, "Oh my God, you guys are telling me about my dream neighborhood because it's not near that goddamn BTS or the MRT." And so that some people are going to like that.
So this is what I loved about that neighborhood is basically everything I wanted. The Tops to do my grocery shopping. There was a night market right behind my condo building.
Okay.
So I could go out the back gate of my condo.
Right into it.
Right into the night market. And so, they all knew me. Like, obviously, everyone remembers the big foreigner.
Yeah.
Not a lot of foreigners living there.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, it was great. There's like maybe 3 of us.
Yes.
And I think I told you about the drunk Irish guy, the rig worker, who would be pass out drunk on a stool somewhere.
Oh, the stool. Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah.
And I'd see him drinking with locals. He doesn't speak Thai.
Oh, they must have ching.
Yeah,
sure.
Drinking black cock.
Oh fuck, where is that by the way? Where is your big black cock?
No, it's a little black cock.
Usually you just slop it down here on the fucking table, man. It's just showing off.
MIA.
Again.
It's around here.
Mother of God. So, I wonder if Jib is. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go there.
Anyway,
innuendo.
So there's a night market right behind. Then there was a government sports center, which is they had a soccer field, a running track, a weight room, a pool, an Olympic-sized pool, and they would teach Jib and I took ballroom dancing classes there.
So kind of like the equivalent of maybe like a YMCA, like a big one.
Yeah, but like an outdoor soccer field. Oh, there's a indoor basketball court with a little stadium.
Yeah.
They call it government, they're government-run sports centers.
So all you need is an ID.
You gotta pay the membership.
Which is for $1,000 baht a year or something?
40 baht a year.
Jesus Christ. It cost him more money to administer that 40 baht.
to make that
Fucking God. That's friggin' amazing. We thought AIS Design Center at 1,000 baht a year was free.
1,200.
Is it 1,200?
Yeah,
Okay.
1,200. I gotta go renew mine this week. But yeah, it's so it's 40 baht a year to basically use the running track.
Awesome.
Use the soccer field when there's not a game going on.
Pool?
There's a pool, but you have to pay an extra 15 baht every time you go swim. Olympic-sized pool.
Which, so you know, is 50 cents. Yeah.
There's free parking for cars and motorcycles.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
There's an okay, so there's 2 weight rooms. There's the okay, like kind of free weights area. Looks like a very typical Thai gym.
Like outdoors?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's covered by nets.
Yeah, right.
Right, but it's outdoor, essentially. Weights, universal machine, all that.
Okay.
Standard crappy stuff.
Right.
But good if you just want to lift heavy shit.
But then there's another one.
They have heavy shit.
Okay.
So that's the heavy shit room.
Okay.
But they have another room with like really high end like other equipment.
Treadmills.
The arm.
Got it.
treadmill.
Monitor your pulse, everything.
Then like other machines for like hip mobility and like ab exercises.
Okay.
And that's mostly like the older people go and use
Probably air conditioned.
super air conditioned. And actually it's nice because a lot of times they'll open the window, shut the aircon off like at night.
Breeze, yeah.
And put the fans on.
Towels, water, the whole deal.
But that's most of the time you would see like older residents going in there and like using it very lightweight just to like get mobility. And but they had treadmills in there, exercise bikes, they had a rower. Jib and I took a ballroom dancing class for like a few months there. And because Jib used to be a competitive dance sport, the competitive dancer when she was in university,
Like solo or with the
partner? With a partner.
Okay.
So like a ballroom, or she did Latin, jazz, all that dancing, and so not the activity for me.
Sure, I get it.
So I would want. I'm a bit large, right? And so it was always kind of funny, like me and Jib, like you'd switch partners and dance with other people at your level. Obviously, Jib's level was considerably above mine. And the teacher would always have like a fun time with me, like trying to explain like the foot movements.
Yeah.
But I would leave there because you wear heels on your shoes when you dance. Even guys,
men? Really?
So it's like an 1.5 inch heel.
So you're like 6'4".
Yeah, with these heels on. But I would leave there, and they're really soft, like felt soles. I would leave there, like feeling like I just had the worst leg workout ever.
Yeah,
like my legs would be shot.
Right, calf, and
Yeah, and so we did that for like 6 months. I couldn't keep up with it. Like I was getting killed, but it was free.
Yeah, it's cool. Nice.
And then they had free Zumba classes every night.
Gracie does Zumba at home.
Yeah, so they have, in Thailand, you'll see this at parks a lot. They'll have like a trainer come out and do like a mass Zumba class.
Right.
And it's always free.
Yeah.
And so
Lumpini.
And here's the other thing. In Thailand, another thing that you'll notice when you first move here is there's all these little sort of physical fitness areas along the road or like next to a park.
Yeah.
And you'll see old people in the morning go out and they've got like, it's all like body weight equipment, but they're going out there, they're moving, they're doing stuff, and that's what they're there for.
I love seeing that, by the way. Yeah. That's great. I mean, because, dude, it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, and I know you've been to Lumpini a lot. I'm sure you've seen people exercising out in Lumpini.
Yep. What's the one that's near Emporium? What's that park called?
So there's 2 with very similar names. Is it Benchamet or Benchameti?
Benjakriti is the one down Asok.
Yeah, Queen Circuit. Is that open again?
Yeah, they're all open. I mean, they're doing construction, right? The big oval.
They were dredging it.
Yeah. That's like right down the street from where you used to live, right? The penthouse?
Yeah, it's right across the street.
Yeah, right. That's great over there.
Funny. I found one of my old YouTube videos when I went to the first government tech conference was at Queen Circuit.
Okay.
Like 5 years ago.
And you're talking about Queen Circuit Convention Center?
Queen Circuit Convention Center.
Yeah, right.
Which is also at Queen Circuit MRT,
right.
Obviously. And I shot a time lapse in front of the convention center. The building I would end up living in the penthouse of was in the middle of the time lapse.
Very nice. Cool. Probably put that in the show notes.
Yeah, show notes. Yeah, I'll throw that video down there. You can check that out. But that was actually the first government. That's when the government was doing their big push. And but it was only for Thai startups. I was like one of the only foreigners there. The prime minister was there.
Nice work.
Yeah,
it's good.
And
all right,
very interesting.
So we're Bangkok strange. So a lot of what we're talking about really is just like acclimating to sort of the local culture.
Yeah,
right. Checking it out.
To the strange shit.
To the strange. Now let's talk about the strange shit, because you're gonna like walk down the street and see someone doing something bizarre.
Well, let's talk about coffee real quick.
Okay, fair enough.
Thai coffee, and we'll do a whole other episode on Thai coffee.
Superior to U.S. coffee?
So Thai local coffee. Avoid Starbucks, no matter what country you're in.
No shit.
And Starbucks here is more expensive than the U.S.
Buy their stock if you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
Make some money, but do
Stock's
not
great.
don't buy their products.
So, well, no, don't say that till I sell my stock. So, espresso culture dominates coffee here, right? And so 9 out of 10 times that you're in a coffee place, just a regular black coffee is an Americano.
Yeah, basically.
So espresso with water and ice,
Yep.
or with water and ice. So be ready for that. Understand that there's even Starbucks, like if you order a brewed coffee, which is on the menu, they have to make it.
Yeah.
Because not enough people order it.
Yeah, they don't have like the whole drip, the giant, what is it, with the silver?
Yeah,
what is the one
big,
company that makes...
Coffee Mate or Mr. Coffee?
Oh, but...
So
yeah.
So be ready for that. But then also, like, it's very common to see like little coffee stands around.
Oh, with the carnation sign, with the umbrella and
so
everything.
that's usually 3 in 1.
No. You're talking about the sock.
No, that's Coffee Boran.
Right.
But if you just order like a quick takeaway, from a lot of those places, the 3 like a instant coffee. However, so you met my sewing teacher today, Kru Ying.
Yeah.
Her sister owns a place called Coffee Stand.
Near here?
It's in Unnut.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
On the way.
It's actually between Unnut and here, probably.
Okay.
So
Coffee Stand.
yeah, it's like literally in the parking lot of like a condo.
Okay.
But she actually makes like legit like pour over coffee,
for
or
her.
like it's a really good coffee. That's why when she was joking, like like as good as like her sisters, I was like,
not that
I
good.
was giving her a hard time.
Expensive?
No, it's like local price.
20 baht?
No, like 40 baht
Okay.
for like a decent coffee.
Yeah, that's 7-Eleven prices.
Yeah.
It's 40 baht.
Yeah, and so like you can get the Coffee Baran is like Cafe Baran is like 20 baht, 30 baht.
Yes.
And unless you get it like Thai style with like condensed milk
I
and
love
like
that.
the diabetes cup.
Yeah, and they
So
put
it's,
like this.
it's milk, condensed milk, more condensed milk on top, and a little bit of sugar.
Yes.
And that's like 50 baht.
And it still tastes like really strong
Coffee.
freaking coffee.
Yeah.
Because it pours out of this like black.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is black when it pours out through a sock. It is just excellent. And it's Robusta beans.
Yes.
I do not. Once I had Robusta beans, I was all about that because it's Arabica in the U.S.
I love the Arabica.
I know you do.
Thai Arabica, man. It's the way to go.
What is this little, as an aside, do you have like this little get-together contest global thing going on with your coffee? What's happening with that?
Oh, yeah. So that's it's James Hoffman, famous YouTuber, former barista world champion. He's in England. He owns a company called Square Mile. And they're doing the world's largest coffee tasting.
Yeah.
It's in October. You can come if you want. Come by.
But it's like everyone in the world at like 10...
It'll be 9 p.m.
Okay.
Bangkok time.
9 p.m. Bangkok time, which is whatever other...
Yeah.
And everyone at that time...
Taste the same coffee, and then you talk about it on the forum.
Okay, got it.
And discuss like the tasting notes. And they even send you the water to make the coffee with.
See, that is like... I mean, that you are obviously like, I don't know, I guess you're not a barista because that's someone who makes it. But you're like obviously a coffee connoisseur, for lack of a better word.
I'm a fan.
You're a fan? Well, you're a big fan.
I'm a fan of coffee.
I like buying it and consuming it. That's about as far as I go.
So do I.
Yeah, but you know all of this. I'm like, hey, lady, pour that black shit over some ice. Let's go.
So like I had a meeting yesterday, coffee with to talk with someone over coffee, and
you were over in Chaingmai, weren't you?
Yeah.
Any good ones over there?
UCC.
Okay.
And so that's one of the few shops in Bangkok that does immersion brews.
Okay.
Which is how I like coffee.
Yep.
And so they do French press and siphon.
Okay.
And siphon is so with French press, obviously your thermal mass is dropping in temperature while you're doing the immersion. With siphon, it's not, because you're constantly heating to keep the water up with the pressure.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a constant pressure immersion, which is interesting.
And this is where, like, is it how far down Chaingmai?
No, it's right in Chaingmai Gateway.
Oh, okay.
It's like you walk
Which
in
is a mall, by the way.
Yeah, it's a mall. Everything's a mall.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You walk into Chaingmai Gateway, and it's right there on your right.
Walk in from
the BTS.
Okay, so like level 2.
Yeah, it's turn right, boom.
Okay.
There at UCC.
UCC, awesome.
And so I got the Thai honey bourbon coffee, which is quite nice. It's a honey process, and it has notes of It has earthy notes with a little bit of bourbon, some sweetness.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a very interesting coffee. It doesn't really have bourbon in it, just so you know.
No, trust me, I would have asked. But one of the things I think is really interesting is that, I mean, this is the kind of discussion. We could be having this discussion if we were doing this podcast in Boston.
Yeah.
And I want to highlight that because if you come over to this country, well, first of all, you've got to, don't move here after.
Don't move to Boston.
First of all, don't move to Boston. Secondarily, do not move to Thailand before coming to Thailand.
Yeah.
Come to Thailand and check it out. And I would argue that that's great advice no matter what the other country is that you're going to, unless you are super versed in international travel.
Here's the other thing. Let me throw this out there because Thailand does offer a lot of everything. And so there's essentially everywhere you go in Thailand is going to be tropical, but there is something for everyone here.
Agreed.
So I love big city life. Like I couldn't live anywhere other than Bangkok. And I often say Bangkok is the greatest city in the world. Mm-hmm. KL is Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, definitely my second home.
Okay.
I love it. And I've lived in big cities in the U.S., small cities, medium cities. Nothing beats Bangkok. New York has nothing on Bangkok.
So here's what's crazy. I am not a big city guy.
You are not.
I fucking love Bangkok.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would, again, you and I have debated this very slightly in the sense that you say...
Because there's no debate.
Because you say it is the best city in the entire world.
Yeah.
And I've always thought, okay, I mean, for me it is.
Yeah.
Agreed. But I would guess that there's got to be other metrics that people believe it's not the best city in the world.
Let me ask you this. Clean, cheap, readily available public transportation.
Again,
do we have it?
Again, for me, I agree.
World-class food.
Yeah.
Cheap and expensive.
Cheap and expensive. There is no food you cannot get in Thailand. In Bangkok,
street food. When you first move here, you will get sick. Just know you will.
I never have.
I get sick every month.
What?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you? What are you eating?
Random shit.
No, dude, because here's the thing. I've made this statement, and you want to talk about the best, no debate about it? The best food in the entire world is made on the sidewalk in Thailand.
I might have a weak constitution, but I will not stop eating street food because...
No way!
One, it's less than $1.
Yes. Yeah.
And two, actually, most time I get sick, it's probably from restaurants.
Yeah.
And so
I've heard that.
Know what I think it is, too, is that... I'm extremely lactose intolerant.
Yeah, so you're a little sensitive. Yeah.
If I get anything with lactose in it,
sure, you're all done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And so I go somewhere and they put a little bit of milk powder in their bread.
Game over.
I'm fucked.
Okay. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
You're not getting sick because it's bad food.
No.
You're getting sick because you are allergic to.
Here's the thing. You get street food. It's cooked, right?
It's fresh,
it's sanitized, and
they don't have any refrigeration at their little thing. They've got enough vegetables for that day.
Yeah, and you see the vegetables they're using. They're fresh. They're green. They're clean.
Yeah,
they're crisp.
Right.
And the air cured meat is a different story.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, yeah,
look, we eat dry aged beef in America. Why can't we dry aged chicken on the street side?
The buses driving by, arguably, the filtration system on the exhaust isn't necessarily up to California standards.
They're definitely not.
So I get that, but the point is that
you don't have those plumes of black coming out of vehicles.
When we were kids, right, and the trucks would drive by and they'd downshift, huge plume, black smoke. You do that in California, people are like, hey,
call the police.
Yeah, they start clubbing you with a friggin' seal because it's dolphin safe. It's dolphin safe as long as it's dolphin safe.
Here's the thing, right? The street food, if you ask me 10 times what do I want to eat, 9 times out of 10 it'll be street food
all day long. And this is the thing, Thai food. Obviously spicy. I love spicy food. Yep.
It's good for you.
You can get it without spice, just so you're... Yeah.
It's still spicy if you say,
true.
My pet.
Yeah.
So the first words you'll learn are probably about food, right? How to order pet or my pet, spicy, not spicy.
Rice, chicken.
Cow, guy.
Right.
Egg, kai. And here's the other thing. I don't even eat eggs, but the way Thais cook eggs, it's got to be goddamn perfect.
You're talking about when they put it in the oil, and it's they basically make it sunny side up-ish?
So it's sunny side up, but the bottom is a golden brown, crispy.
Yeah.
That's going to be the perfect egg.
I would submit, moving to this country, you're going to make statements like I just made and you just made, which is I'm not normally insert something I dislike here, but in Thailand, I fucking love big cities. I love eggs.
I don't like dessert, but I'll eat kanya makmua all day fucking long.
No, mango, sticky. People, if you go to someone in the United States, say, "What do you want? What do you want for dessert?" I don't know, something with rice.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? What are you, poor? What the hell's your problem? Best goddamn dessert in the whole world is mango sticky rice.
Sticky rice that's been drenched.
Yes,
it's been bathed.
gotta be. Yeah,
bathed. And so actually, that sticky rice is cooked in this coconut milk.
Right.
Coconut milk with salt and sugar.
Game over.
Game over.
I will eat that.
Then you put the ripest, juiciest, most delicious mango, basically a chunk of sunshine, on top of this sticky rice. Then you sprinkle just a little bit of these hand-fried mung beans on top of that. And then you give it an additional drenching in that same coconut cream
An additional
that is then
drenching, ladies and
enhanced
gentlemen.
with salt and sugar.
Yeah.
And you eat that one spoon at a time. You're in heaven.
And you paid $2 maybe.
Max.
Maybe.
That's if you're at like a high-end restaurant.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. If you're like Siam Paragon.
I'm buying it on the street for 40 baht.
Yeah, no,
all day.
Yeah,
all day long.
Here's the thing: they'll feel or they'll touch the mangoes.
Yeah.
They're in front of them, right? And I've never gotten one that's bruised.
No.
I've never gotten one that's got even like a brownish thing in it.
No.
And they're not picking these out of a factory. They just picked these off the street 20 hours ago.
Yeah.
And they came to a central location, and all these people got up at 3 in the morning.
If you go around in the morning, you'll see the trucks driving around with the fruit.
Oh, yeah.
And all the places, or like the
Stacked
vegetables.
to
They've got the vegetables in there.
Yes.
And everyone who has a shop, they're all, take this.
Yeah.
And you get what you get. And it's always fresh. It came from the farm that day. It's not like America where they picked it 14 days ago, threw it in the back of a refrigerator truck, drove it across the fucking country.
And it ripens.
And it ripens as it arrives. Yeah. No, none of that.
And it tastes. Dude, the tomatoes over here?
Amazing.
Tomatoes on a Burger King burger here taste fantastic.
Out of this world. Out of this world. Now, and everything, like, so obviously there's like spinach that isn't the same here. Kale isn't the same here. But, they have a lot of leafy greens if that's what you're into.
Apples are pretty good here.
Apples are good, but the fruit game here, apples are probably the worst fruit from Thailand, in my opinion.
Dragon fruit's disgusting. It's ridiculous. It's shit waste.
Dude, that's one of my favorite fruits.
It doesn't taste like anything.
It tastes amazing.
It's fucking white with the dots in it, and it looks neat on the outside. Then you open it up, you're like, what the Christ?
It's got a subtle sweetness to it. It's got a nice
subtle
texture.
That's an I mean, that's not there. It doesn't have any taste.
Have you ever had the red dragon fruit?
No, I've only had the white ones, to be fair, so I will throw that out there.
Not much difference in the flavor.
Yeah.
But the red ones, first time I ever ate the red dragon fruit, I ate like maybe 4 of them, right?
Okay.
Like in one
So
sitting.
quite
I love dragon fruit,
Clearly,
though.
yeah.
And so, fucking...
We will go somewhere, and you can order dragon fruit from this little... And to be fair, all this fruit that he's talking about, you can order from a container that's being pushed down the street.
A fish tank.
Filled with ice.
Filled with ice.
And the freshest friggin' food.
They cut it for you right there, put a stick in the bag.
They did. Yeah, here you go.
So
20 baht.
So I ate like 4 of these dragon fruit, not realizing. And so the next day, I'm on the toilet, and I look down, and the fucking bowl's just full of red.
And you're like, oh my God,
I'm
my
like,
colon.
I'm like, my colon is fucking ruptured. So I'm dying.
Right.
I'm fucking on the phone. I was up country, so I'm messaging with Jib.
Yeah.
We had been dating like 6 months.
Dear Jib, hi.
Yeah.
It's Dana.
I'm like, I'm fucking...
I'm taking a shit. And
I'm like, I think I'm dying. I'm like bleeding out of my ass. I'm going to die. I go to the hospital. She's like, wait, didn't you have red dragon fruit yesterday?
Awesome.
I'm like,
she just nails it right there.
I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, no, that's what happens. It's just like blood red in the entire bowl.
That's
like, I'm fucking dying.
I'm dying. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm gonna fucking I'm done. I'm gonna die up fucking country, fucking Thailand.
So we've been here a while. I
Yeah.
consider myself not necessarily. I mean, it's true. I have not lived here continuously as long as you have, but I've been here long enough. I feel like I can be part of the Bangkok community and have been quite easily. Obviously, we're very pro Thailand.
Yeah.
There's some imperfection here or whatever.
No,
but
nothing's perfect.
Totally. But I would
But you know
highly.
what? We don't have Trump.
No, we don't. Look, here's the thing. We don't have any nonsense like that.
Yeah.
Because even if we were to obsess about the news, about the government or the leadership, what are we going to do? Vote? We're going to write our congressman over in Bang Na?
I don't understand the foreigner. There are a lot of foreigners who start to take the political situation really personally.
That's what I wanted to touch on. Is if you come over here, I highly encourage you. If you start getting like irritable or you start finding all the negative things about Thailand, well, the short answer is get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Second is don't talk to us.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get smacked in the face, and you're gonna be shitting red whether you eat friggin' dragon fruit or not.
Like there are a lot of people who are like, oh, like there was a guy who I know, we called him Bareback Walsh because he had a tendency to have unprotected sex with prostitutes.
No judgment.
No judgment.
Yeah. Tony would support that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why didn't he have a kid with her?
Come on. Exactly. Submit.
So he was freaking out when the whole lockdown thing was about to happen.
Okay.
He thinks that Thailand's going to, he's like, they're going to go into, huge depression era economic downturn. They're going to be killing foreigners in the street.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, what fucking country do you live in?
How long had he been here?
He's been here like 2 years.
Come on, you know it backwards by 2 years.
This is a dude, though. He came here and he basically went on a 2-year bender. Like I said, having unprotected sex with, he had a bar girlfriend who was living with him,
and he would go out and have sex with other people.
Yeah, and he came here with his wife. He came here with his wife, his kid, and he left him for an ugly bar girl.
See, that I don't get. Here's the other thing too. You come over here and you are not dating like at least a 7,
an 8.
Find a good male friend and get your shit together.
Big time.
Because it is not difficult to date.
No.
And you do not need to date anywhere below what you have to do in the U.S.
No, and the other thing is, like, one, the dating pool is skewed because there's more women here than men anyway.
Begin with, right.
So if you're a guy, and if you're a white woman, you come here, I've got friends who are women expats. Dating is difficult for some of them, not for others, though.
No, I get it.
It depends on what you want.
What you want, right.
But at the same time, and also, like, if you definitely have to have more language proficiency as a woman. Like dating.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot of just sort of basics here. And the other thing, too, is that a lot of times, at least in my experience, you start dating a Thai woman, she's actually going to help you with the basics.
Yeah.
She doesn't necessarily want you to be able to understand everything she and her girlfriends say. But
here's the problem. Like, so, like, Jib speaks perfect English.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I never learned Thai with Jib because she's like, I'm just going to fucking talk to you in English.
Dude, I go over to the Philippines. People are like, oh, do you know Tagalog? And I'm like, dude, everywhere I go, they take one look at this.
Yeah.
And they're like, he speaks English.
Yeah.
So do we, because we learned it in 5 years old.
Yeah, because we're Filipinos.
And we're going to start working as nurses real soon and start banging the shit out of Danas. Because that's their fucking lifetime goal.
But now Filipinos are teachers in the U.S.
Well, they're probably banging some little Danas running all over the United States.
Maybe.
There's probably a bunch of Danas running all over the place from that hospital.
There's a bunch of, luckily no. But there's a bunch of Filipinos going over to teach in like the Midwest in the U.S. where they can't afford, they can't attract American teachers to live in like remote communities.
Yeah, no, that makes
sense. And Filipinos like $30,000 a year to live in the wintertime in America. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Like 90% of what I make, I can send back to my family, my entire family, OFW. I mean...
And they're also like, wait, so I get to live in America. I think they get 4-year visas, like 2 and 2 on that.
Good job.
They're like, 4 years, I get to teach in America, get experience, get to live somewhere where it's fucking...
I get the summers off.
Yeah. And get to go to like Wyoming where it's like where it's like nowhere I would see in the Philippines.
Right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yes. America has a lot.
Yeah. And then they're like, and there's like 7 other Filipinos teaching at the same school.
We're all going to be sleeping together anyway, living together at least. Maybe they may not be sleeping. They'll probably be sleeping with Dana, but they'll be staying.
1 or 2 at a time. It depends.
Sure. Well, I mean, let's face it, they're so small.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like how many dragon fruits do you have when you sit down? 4, clearly, minimum.
So I've had fit 2 in my bed previously, but I could definitely fit more.
Not there's anything wrong with that.
But I was saying that in Thailand, though, there is something for everyone. Like, you're not a city guy. You love the beach.
Yeah.
Right? So you've gone to Phuket. You've gone to Koh Phanang. You've gone to Samui, Sumet, all these places.
Koh Si Chang, real close by. The closest island to Bangkok.
So there are a lot of beach communities, Hoi Hin, places that you can live very comfortably on the beach at a fraction what it would cost to live in San Diego.
I can't even imagine,
And some much nicer beaches than San Diego,
Big
I'd imagine.
time, yeah.
Now, if you don't like the city, you don't like the beach, there's always the mountains and the wilderness of the north.
Yeah.
Chiang Mai is a popular destination for digital nomads, we'll call them. Basically scumbags who don't work and want to live somewhere for like $5 a month.
Yeah, the only reason they make money is basically making videos convincing other people that they're going to make money.
There are people who do. I have friends who live in Chiang Mai who run legitimate businesses.
Like online business?
Like legitimate online businesses. Or also, like, I have friends who are professional fighters who live in Chiang Mai.
Okay, well,
or
that's,
people who work online in other respects. They just love living there.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad when I umbrella everyone under that term. But
no, you don't.
I really don't feel bad.
You love umbrella. I mean, every single human male that has ever gone to Cambodia clearly is fucking scumbag.
Scumbag.
Except for you, the one time when you were there accidentally.
Yeah, and got arrested.
Yeah. So you get arrested and you're in jail in Cambodia. But everyone else is a scumbag. Let's be clear on the tone of this fucking podcast.
I'm going to give myself a pass on that, obviously. Everyone else, though. No one else gets a pass.
No, they all suck ass.
If Mike goes there for like a quick trip, I might give him a pass.
Yeah, I doubt it. We'll be doing a live stream. You'll be like, so Mike, what are you getting jerked off by a fucking 9-year-old or something right now?
I might do that.
Like, yes, I'm in Cambodia. That's the only thing that happens over here.
It was on the menu.
Yeah, it's not like the economy's grown 8% a year for the last 10 years. Every year.
I got that and fried rice.
Yeah, exactly.
Same restaurant.
And a great pizza with fucking marijuana in it.
Oh yeah, they got the happy pizza there. So
I am staying away from that fucking pizza. I will never eat pizza in Cambodia. Too afraid.
Yeah, you know, like edibles, man, they fucked me up lately. Like I used to really enjoy edibles and relax me. Now it's like my blood pressure drops too much. I get dry mouth. It's not an enjoyable experience for me anymore.
Yeah, but see, here's the deal. You have that experience, and you're like, well, I guess I just won't do these anymore.
Yeah.
No. With me, it is at either 150% abstinence or 180 degree. I mean, 110%, 80 miles an hour in the absolute worst direction.
Yeah.
So I stay away. I've never had an edible, and I'm not about to have one anytime
soon. Like I said, my experience, actually, I had like 2 edible, my friend gave me 2 chocolates. He's like, these are 5 milligrams each.
Oh, is this the New Year's Eve experience with Eric?
No, that was Bear.
Okay, with Bear.
Eric gave me the 2 chocolates.
Okay, all right, got it.
And he's like, these are 5 milligrams each, and I tried them, and I'm like, usually like 10 milligrams is like pretty, like, decent trip.
For you.
Yeah, for me.
Okay.
And I was like, I ate both, and I'm like, all right, no big deal. I was I thought I was dying. I literally thought I was having a heart attack. My watch is like pinging. My heart rate's at like 160.
From marijuana?
Yeah. So apparently, what happens is your heart rate does generally go up a little bit because your blood pressure will drop.
Okay, fair enough. So it's trying to compensate.
It relaxes you. Your blood pressure drops, and maybe you see like a 5 beat per minute, 10 beat per minute spike.
Yeah.
My blood pressure must have tanked. Actually, I was hooked up to my blood pressure cuff. And I had my my heart rate monitor on. I'm like, I'm fucking freaking. I'm gonna die.
That's
I'm gonna
not
have
how
a
you
fucking
party
heart
with
attack.
this. This is not enjoyable behavior. Is what I'm seeing.
No, it's not. It's not enjoyable. So
not happening.
So I would usually do like a drop of like oil.
Okay.
Like if I just want to like relax and chill,
sure.
or like have like a 10 milligram cookie, like no big deal.
Okay.
Like back in the day.
But not now.
Not now. Fuck that. And my mouth was dry.
That's just not enjoyable.
There's
That's
no enjoyability. I fell asleep and then I woke up thinking I was having a heart attack again. Like not a good time.
You know, I think one of the things really, I mean, obviously,
I would eat that pizza though.
Good. The next time we go traveling in Cambodia, I'll bring a fucking blood pressure cuff, and I'll be like, okay, dude, you got the software downloaded on your iPhone? Because you got to have the remote. We got to work this out. Yeah, you eat this pizza. I'll be sitting over here with a Diet Coke.
Well, also, so now I think is like the oils that you get today, the extracted oils are just like such high concentration. And like when they're like, oh, it's 5 milligrams, they don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. Especially over here, it's not like it's regulated,
some
right?
Thai chick that worked at a university in a chemistry lab.
Yeah.
I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but she's not. 5 milligrams. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So here's something I would say if you're coming over here and you're gonna, even if this is your first day as a tourist or you're gonna live here long term, don't do drugs in Thailand.
Yeah.
Don't. I mean, look at dude. If you've lived here a long time and you got buddies, fine. But I would highly encourage you to find anything else to alter your mood if that's what you want to do. Do not do illegal narcotics.
Yeah, definitely don't get caught doing it.
Jesus Christ.
So the other thing, definitely don't get caught doing illegal narcotics. Not a good look.
No.
And
Because they'll be psyched. They'll be like, "Oh, he's a foreigner.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this motherfucker on Bangkok Post now."
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna
long
end up,
before his trial.
You're gonna end up paying a lot of money. You probably won't go to jail. It depends. Like, you get caught with a gram of coke.
They'll just want your cash.
They just want your cash. You get caught with a dime of marijuana. Not a big deal. You get caught with a kilo of coke. You're probably
You're
like
in deep shit.
Ass rape prison, like prayer before dawn style.
Yeah, full on prayer before dawn.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah.
That is just
double pen anal in the pen.
If you need to watch a movie to convince you to not do drugs
In Thailand.
watch that one.
Yeah.
Unless you have this big desire to be raped by AIDS victims.
Yeah.
That is just bad news bears.
That was a crazy, like, realistic, like the grittiness of that scene. Like, obviously in my mind, like the one prison scene before I watched that movie that was always in my mind was American History X. Right?
I don't know that one.
With Edward Norton.
No. I know Edward Norton, but I don't know that movie. Okay, I'll have to watch it tonight.
Avery Brooks was also in that. It's on Netflix. Great movie.
Great. Done.
But fantastic movie about, like, racism and, like, white supremacy in America.
Okay.
And, like, the underlying tones of racism and, like, how it festers, like, multi-generationally. But there's a rape scene in that movie, but it's kind of stylized.
You could tell it was Hollywood.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah, got it.
A Prayer Before Dawn is it's like you hear the thighs slapping on the ass.
Dude.
Like, it's like, and then the dude is like
freaking out.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a great actor.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at his face.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, the only way you make that face is if this is happening to you.
You're literally watching a dude get raped 2 feet away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think for the extras, they probably just went into a prison and said, "Hey, anyone here that, like, you know, basically kills people and rapes people for a living, come with me. I'll give you $100.
Yeah.
Just do what you normally do on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Right now in front of all these cameras."
Here's this white dude. Just
like,
don't kill him.
And then he says, "Oh yeah, and by the way, hold this knife to his throat." He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna bang this guy twice. This is gonna be great."
Great. It's actually not a great movie, but it's a very realistic movie.
You just watch that one scene, and you leave that movie with, like, okay, this is what a movie is supposed to do to me.
Yeah.
It's supposed to either, you know, make me hair on the back of my neck kind of experience. You know, that's the special effects were not special effects necessary in that movie.
No.
To be like, wow.
There was a ladyboy sex scene.
Yeah, and he's like, here's another thing. Do not get into a fucking relationship with a girl that you've got into the relationship by paying her.
Yeah. So
don't make that your relationship.
That's an issue that a lot of guys...
He falls in love with the ladyboy
that
he's giving the fucking cigarettes to.
Yeah. Well, she was giving him cigarettes.
Sorry. Yeah.
And then when she started fucking other dudes, he was like, I love
gets all jealous. Oh my God, you're a hooker. I can't believe you're actually making money by having sex with other men.
And you're all prisoners. So here's the other thing, right? But yeah, you hit it on a good point.
Yeah, we just should touch that.
Even if you come here as a sexpat, right? Which is, look, it's illegal here. It's technically not legal,
right.
It, like a lot of things that are illegal, it's in the open.
Mm-hmm.
So you do it, whatever. But do not fall in love, get in relationships with people who you're paying to have relations with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because I've seen it happen multiple times. Bareback Walsh is one of them. Fell in love with a girl, and he met her on her first night at the club. He actually said that to me.
We have got to go through a list of things you will hear that are false.
He actually said to me, it was her first night. That's why she was the most expensive. And I said,
oh my God.
I said, Walsh, when have you ever started a job as the highest paid employee at the company?
Exactly.
When do you start as the CEO?
The most experienced is and the most beautiful, usually, but they have to coincide.
Yeah. You know, there are people that, no, that's not true, because the girl I met was her first night. No. No one is paying for someone's first night as a sex worker, because they're like, oh.
There's going to be some standard lies, guys. It's going to be, this is my first night here.
Yep.
I've never done this
before. Yeah.
My family is in dire straits.
My buffalo is sick.
Well, no, the buffalo is sick. You're going to get that in the relationship as the relationship is progressing. When she figures out how much money you have, potentially her buffalo is sick. If you have a lot more money, her family is in the hospital.
Yeah.
There's humans involved. Buffalo's one thing. That means you can give her like $250.
Yeah.
If her dad all of a sudden has pancreatic cancer for the 9th time, then there's a high likelihood she's like, he's going to give me 10 grand. This is going to be huge right now. Now, here's the deal. There are scammers, there are liars in every friggin' country, and that sort of thing. The difference over here is that I believe you come over here and any experience you've ever had in the red light district type thing, anywhere else in the world, it is different here. And at the end of the day, it's simply better.
Yeah.
You are going to be convinced by these women who do this for a living that they actually care for you.
Keep in mind that this is their job.
Yeah.
They're getting paid to make you think that you had a good time or that they really care for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be confused because it's like, well, wait a minute. Let's say for this, I've never done this in the United States, but let's say for the sake of argument, you buy a hooker in the United States.
And now you're broke.
And yeah, well, okay, yeah. Let's say it's in Vegas, right? So I guess, I don't know what, let's say $2,000 for the sake of argument. You come over here and I would guess
2,000 baht.
And yeah, it's 2,000 baht, and the experience you had in Las Vegas, like in, out, down. Okay, she can be a complete bitch. She's not going to be. These girls, you meet them, you walk across the street. She grabs your hand like she's your girlfriend.
She's like, "Oh, you want to get street food?
Yeah, you want to buy some pizza? You know, you want to go something." And so there will be this sort of engagement that you're like, "Wait a minute, this is like the girlfriend experience kind of thing." So it's really good to have. Look, if you want to reach out to Dana and I, if you're coming over here for the first time, but
BangkokStreams@gmail.com.
Find a wingman of some kind, and you can look at. I came over here. Obviously, I had my head on my shoulders. Okay, so I didn't need a wingman, but I met so many guys that were just like gaga over this experience they had never. It's like when you meet a guy
and guys who you wouldn't normally think would fall down. And I've met guys who are like killers at business.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden they don't realize that they're in a business relationship or a business engagement. And they're like, oh, this is, something. And it's not.
They can spot a liar across the boardroom table and be like, there's no way, fuck you. They can be like all hard and everything. We're going to do this 10%, no, 12%, whatever. And then they meet their next entrepreneurial experience via the vagina.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God, now all of a sudden...
Yeah,
I'm sideways.
And so definitely, and I think it's hard to explain to I think people who have never like been through that.
It's literally impossible to explain what you could potentially come up into with Bangkok, which is what really it is what makes it strange.
And I think so I have another friend. He comes here and he uses a website called like Thai Friendly or something like that.
I think it's the #1 most popular.
And so he goes on there and like. Every girl he meets is a freelancer on there. And they're coming over. He's hitting them up with 2,000 baht. In, they're out. He's done.
Sure. Business transaction.
And he's got girls who he meets like on Tinder or wherever that he's dating. And then he's got girls that he meets on this that are business transactions.
Okay, got it.
And he's able to separate the two.
Okay.
And, while he's here, right? And like he has girls who he's going out to dinner with. He's taking them out.
Great.
He's going to places with them. Dates. Yeah. And then he's got girls who come over and they fuck and then he's out.
Exactly.
And, and he's very upfront about with the girls who he dates. He's like, I want to date, like, see what happens. If it's cool, it's cool, but I'm seeing other people.
Yeah.
And,
which is an odd conversation with a Thai girl, with a normal Thai girl.
But, I think honesty is always the best policy.
Oh, no, I'm not saying, but they're not going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm dating 4 other men, too.
Yeah, no. No, some of them might be, but
but they're not going to tell you.
So dating in Thailand, like if you're a guy transitioning over here, dating in Thailand can be tricky because there's always an air of, how is the girl who you met in that line of work, right? Is she,
depends where you met her.
And like if you meet a girl on Tinder, from what I understand now, Tinder's like 90% freelancers.
I would guess. I mean, I haven't used any of that stuff in like 4 years. Jesus, more than that now.
Obviously, I've been with Jib for a long time. So
6,
So before 6 years. So So before that,
right?
I used Tinder, but like on campus, and everyone was on campus. And I would just
flip,
swipe through it, and like literally within like a minute, I would get like, match, boop, message.
Oh, totally.
Boop. Like, hey, what building you in?
Proximity. Yeah, exactly.
Like, what building you in? I'll come over. Like, oh, okay.
Come over right now. No, tomorrow morning's fine. No, I can come over like right now. Like I can. Yeah.
Like there are times like, oh no, I'm in the next building. Okay, boop. Yeah. So, it was
fish in a barrel.
Yeah, basically. But in Bangkok, right, it's not hard to meet great women.
No, you could just be walking like literally. I could have met this great-looking person on the way over here.
Yeah.
She smiled at me. We started laughing because there were like pigeons in front of me and they were like all taking off and everything. And she literally just wanted to engage and start talking.
Yeah.
I looked down at her hand, shocker right now. And it's just like, I mean, she didn't want to take her clothes off.
Yeah.
But it's like, I could, that doesn't happen in the U.S.
No.
Girl looks the other way. Oh, my God, I don't know you. Why am I going to talk? And she's, okay, talk to this guy.
Yeah, people just, and it's like that. Like some guys like to go out clubbing or whatever. And you can meet normal girls out of clubs easily.
No, clubs, they line up.
Yeah. And, bars, wherever you want to go. And there are enough communities within Bangkok, you're always going to be meeting people.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, because of the skewed nature of men and women in Thailand, there's always a surplus of women.
And let's be clear, right? Obviously, there is this stigma that basically, many people here in the United States, when they would say the word, I'm going to Thailand, right? If you're an older guy, not older, if you're like over 30, over 40, and you're single or you're divorced or whatever, you're going over there to bang chicks.
Yeah.
That's what people are going to think.
Absolutely.
And they're also going to have and all Thai girls are prostitutes.
A lot of them are going to think that, but...
That's the smallest percentage.
You're going to meet women with master's degree. More people have PhDs in Thailand, I think, or like per capita than anywhere else in the world. Right? You're going to meet like highly educated, beautiful, articulate women.
Feminine.
If you want that.
Yeah, right. But here's the other thing, too. I mean, if you're like, I hate Buddhism, this is crazy, I want to go over there.
Don't come to Thailand.
But true. But in Bangkok, there's Christian churches.
Unfortunately, that is true.
Yeah, trust me, I'm not. We'll have to get into why Buddhism is fucking awesome and everything else is ridiculous.
I'm the dude who tries to fist fight with those Mormon douchebags when they're walking
Get
around.
out of my way. I'm going to my flight, for Christ's sake.
I'll fucking fight you right now, Mormon.
I do not need your pamphlet.
Any Mormons in Bangkok, you want a fist fight? I'll tell you where I live.
Or you want fisting? He's your guy.
Either way.
Just sign up for some Dana.
BangkokStrange@gmail.com.
Oh, we also got to mention the merch.
Yeah, shop.bangkokstrange.com.
Yes,
check it out.
Absolutely.
Ours should be coming in sometime this year.
But no, before end of September, right?
Yeah,
that's what the thing is.
Before the end of September.
We got PayPal now, paypal.me/BangkokStrange.
Yep.
Give us as much money as you friggin' want. I mean, obviously these laptops, we'll go through about one of these a week. Yeah. Because they're disposable, these Mac things. What is it, like $3,500 or something like that?
Cheap.
Yeah, $3,500 baht, yeah. To rent it for the weekend.
For a day. So, yeah, we're talking about setting up a Patreon as well. So, if you guys actually have feedback of things that you would like at like a premium tier, let us know because we would love to incorporate that into a Patreon.
Yeah.
And, we're looking at like, a couple different tiers. We want to make it accessible, but we understand that for a lot of people, it's about like more information about Thailand, about more information about relocation or access or whatever it may be. So,
but for some people, they want the one-on-one access, and obviously that involves some attention units.
Yep.
And so from us to do it right, because we're not just going to be like, oh yeah, just read this PDF. No. We're going to talk.
There'll be no PDFs.
Yeah, I mean, and so because look, that's what we have.
I'll promise that there will be no PDFs.
Thank you very much. No PDFs.
Zero PDFs.
No fucking PowerPoint.
No PowerPoint.
Absolutely not.
No PowerPoint.
Zero.
No PDF. No PowerPoint from us ever.
Dude,
ever.
That is so refreshing. See, you just get me, dude.
Yeah. There's no need for PDFs.
So damn good. Here's the other thing too. I will tell you that in the time that I've been over here, the other guys, and they're American guys for the most part. It's weird. It seems as though the friendships happen faster over here. And I don't know why. I would guess it's because it's like, well, yeah, but we're both working on like the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if I was like banging chicks and you were like sitting there with your wife, I would be like, okay, well, we got nothing in common. Like, why, right? So maybe there's that.
So like, look at David and I, and then David and Bear, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like David and I met on a set and just became fast friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's like, I mean, he's Americanized Thai, if you will, but he's obviously more worldly than just a Thai guy.
So within literally the calendar year that we met, we spent Christmas and New Year's together.
Yeah, see, I just think it happens faster over here. I don't know why.
And then Bear, he met Bear last year.
And they're like brothers.
Bear was over my house with him for Christmas and New Year's.
Right.
So, it's... And then I know Bear through him, and now Bear and I are tight.
Right.
So it is what it is.
And I think if you're coming over here, the nice thing is, I mean, you could say, yeah, look, I'm reinventing myself.
Yeah.
But again, if you go anywhere with some integrity, right, it's like you're probably going to meet people that are also honest.
Yeah.
So there's that. But there's just so. First of all, there's so much. There, like he was saying, there's everything in Bangkok.
Yeah.
But there's also so much in Thailand.
Like I said, like I talked about Chiang Mai, right? Chiang Rai is a great city. Nan, Pai, all up north.
Yeah, very Thai.
I haven't even talked about Isan. Like a lot of people will dog Isan. It's like
That's where all the hookers come from. That's going to be
that, but it's also like a rural kind of like agricultural part of the country. Poor area.
Yeah.
But like Ubon Ratchathani, I've been up to a bunch. It's an okay little city. It's a little dusty because it's like dry, drought area.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It's an okay city. There's good food. I had good pizza up in Ubon Ratchathani. Food is spicy in Isan, so if you don't like spicy food, maybe not the place for you. I actually tried to order something not spicy.
My pet.
And the woman's like, mind me. That I don't have.
We don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, can
I
get this somtam without chili? My prick? And she's like, mind me.
Because all she has to do, just so you know, is not add the chili. Like you could literally make friggin' somtam with just friggin' the
everything else but chili.
Yeah. But she's bashing away at the thing.
She's like, nope.
Yeah,
you can't have it
more
without
garlic.
chili.
Yeah, this is the only way I know how to make it.
But what I was saying
gringo.
is like what I'm thinking is like maybe like the mortar and pestle she's using just so saturated with chili, so she's just like she can't do it.
No, I mean it's like having a seasoned
the cast iron pan.
Yes,
right?
cast iron pan.
Like this motherfucker is like, no, I'm not rinsing this out.
I'm just I'm not rinsing it out. Like I might pour some fish oil in here to clean it.
Yeah, like,
but I'm not using soap and water.
Fish sauce.
Fish sauce. Thank you.
She's like, I've spent all day building up this paste of chili.
Liner.
Yeah, like you're not. I'm not wrecking that for you, right? So, but the food in Isan is amazing.
Yeah, it's the best probably.
They ferment, like even in Bangkok, Isan food is super popular.
Yeah,
but they're into like fermented, deep, like developed flavors and just spice like crazy. Now, southern food is good too, also spicy, but a lot fresher.
Yeah, it's a little. I would say it's a little blander.
Yeah.
Would you say that? Like, I mean, it can be spicy.
Yeah.
But overall, like the taste of it is not as full.
Not enough MSG.
That's the thing. You got it, and that's you. Just so you know, that will be put in many things.
Everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Like my guy that makes coconut milkshakes.
Yeah, MSG. A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah.
MSG makes everything better.
Yeah, as well as cancer. Makes
that's
bitch show
not
up.
Proven.
I'm
that's
just
not
kidding.
proven.
At the end of the day, I mean,
don't snort it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, 6 of 1, really.
So, but here's the thing: like the food on another level. But Isan, like, if you want to live in Isan, I've been to Kangen, which is probably Kangen's the biggest city in Isan.
Oh, okay.
Kangen. And
okay, yeah, I have heard of that.
So probably, and you can take the overnight train there. Jim and I went up for a rocket festival. We'll talk about this on another episode.
Totally.
They were blowing shit up, packing tubes of bamboo with gunpowder.
Oh, sign me up. Is that annually?
Yeah, there's a live commentator.
Wow.
We did a whole vlog about it. I'll put the vlog in the show notes.
Yeah. That's great. Awesome.
But we took the train from Huala Lumpur. It's like overnight. You wake up 5 a.m. moving in Kangen.
I do want to do that. And that's the other thing.
We hired a driver. She came, picked us up, brought us everywhere we wanted to go.
Yeah, for $30 maybe.
It's like 1,000 baht for like
the whole day.
And we stayed at I think her family owns like the little bungalows we stayed in.
Like the driver.
Yeah, like these little concrete bungalows.
Right.
That were like 200 baht a night.
Right, I know.
Right, it's ridiculous. It's literally like the bed is a concrete slab that they just poured into the place.
Right.
It's got a mattress.
Yep.
It's got aircon that's super cold.
Yes.
And it's got a huge window.
Yeah.
And a bathroom.
You're set.
So you're set.
Yeah.
And because you're in there to sleep for like the 8 hours that you're in there. You're not hanging out in these rooms.
No, you don't. You don't hang out there. You don't watch TV. Did it have hot water?
Yeah, because it's got the electric hot water heater.
Yeah.
Actually, one time I stayed at, we were at a resort, a mountainside resort in Mekonsong when we went up to the Hill Tribe Village.
Okay.
Oh, and that's the other thing. I think with the Patreon, like some money from the Patreon will go to we'll pick a cause, but I'm thinking we'll do the Hill Tribe Village.
Solar. I want to put solar in for these people.
Yeah.
Electricity is the first thing I think that changes lives. The next, internet.
Yeah. Well, water's first.
Yeah, but I think they probably have that, right?
They have fresh water. Actually, at one point, we were trying to help them build a dam, but they got it done.
And they probably have wells, too.
So, no, because they're so high up on the mountain.
Oh, fair enough,
So there was a spring, and they were trying to dam the spring to run it down into the school.
Yeah.
And they were eventually able to do that.
Okay, fair enough.
Talk about a cold bath in the morning.
Yeah.
Like,
it's spring. Oh, yeah, no. I just outsource that.
Yeah, crazy.
Get some kindling, build a fire, heat my water.
But yeah, we'll work out the math on the Patreon thing, but I think a big part of it is going to be supporting the school.
That's a great idea. I love that.
Up in the mountains.
Love everything about that.
And we'll take trips up there. Maybe we'll bring people up there, like certain like levels of the Patreons.
Yeah.
If they want to get involved, we can do that.
When you come over here and you transition, if you've been over here for like more than, let's say, a month,
yep,
I would argue that you are going to be, it's going to be visible to you that there are going to be opportunities for you to help in ways that you could really much just, I mean, you could like write checks in the United States.
Yeah.
Over here, you could write checks, but you can like go into villages and just help out by like speaking English.
So I think I told you when I went to this Hill Tribe school the first time, it was Jib organized the whole thing through her company, Knit by Jib. And her fans sent hundreds of sweaters and hats. Right. So Jib basically opened up her whole patent library and was like, if you want to make these hats for these kids, the patent library is open. Whatever you want, whatever, like her designs, like you can make it,
just sew it, we'll
have
give it
it
to
for
the
free,
kids.
knit it, and you can buy the yarn from her. Like she was offering crazy discounts. She like just like promised that you'll send a hat back for these kids.
Nice.
And like there were people sending like 10 hats. Like some people just like going crazy.
Yeah.
And it was great. And the kids, obviously, it gets cold up there. It gets like down to 1 degree C.
Wow.
So almost freezing. We'd wake up to be frost
I
on
was
the grass.
gonna say, that must be weird for up there.
Yeah.
But wait, it happens. I mean, it for like what, like 3 days a year, maybe?
No,
just
it's
in
quite
January.
because you're at elevation.
How high?
You got to be, I would imagine, like a couple thousand feet.
Okay.
And so, but when it's hot there,
that's
it's fucking brutally hot.
Not a lot of wind.
Not a lot of wind. You're at the top of a mountain, but you're also kind of like in some of the valley. So yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. When it's hot, it's hot. When it's cold, it's cold. And there's I think did I show you some of the pictures?
No.
Oh, so I'll show you.
We'll have to get some of those. Yeah.
It's on the phone, which we're using to record.
Well, there you go.
So, but yeah, they're living in like wood shacks, and there was one kid with thalassemia, like really bad case of thalassemia.
I don't know what that is.
It's a blood disorder, I believe, but like it causes deformations. Like his chest was bowed out, his face was messed up, and like they were about to graduate their first kid from high school in like 10 years.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Jesus, good for them.
Yeah, so so education, but I was the first foreigner some of them had seen. Which is crazy.
Like touching.
Yeah, so like it wasn't uncommon for me to like feel something and turn around and like 3 kids be petting me.
Right.
So I have a lot of body hair.
Right.
Not a common thing for
a Thai. Oh my God.
Let alone a Hill Tribe kid.
Most Thai women never shave their legs their whole life.
And maybe they have like 1 or 2 hairs. Yeah. But yeah, so the kids, like, and imagine like a guy my size being the first.
Literally a bear.
Yeah,
like
literally.
there is a bear coming out of the woods.
Who is this giant?
Yeah.
Who just got hair?
Plus, if you show up and you're like clean shaven, 3 days later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Well, I've never been clean shaven.
You've always had a beard?
Yeah. Well, I shaved it. So odd story. I shaved it right before I met Jib, like maybe 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
I was doing a time lapse where every day I was
fair enough,
tracking the growth. And so I was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks into growth. So I had a beard.
Yeah.
But like not long.
Like the fluffy
thing. So like I think she thought that's how my facial hair normally was. Yeah. And little did she know I was just starting like a 1-year process of not trimming it or shaving at all.
So sweetie, P.S. This is going to get a little rougher as we get closer.
And so by the time I actually shaved it, it was like the mustache was out of control. It was insane.
Did you wax it? Like, did you have the whole thing?
You have to.
Right, yeah.
When it gets that long, or else it gets into your mouth. And
see, right now, your mustache thing going on, that's basically the standard Thai mustache length.
Yeah.
Right? But like the rest of it, that is, Thais, that doesn't exist on them.
No,
for
the most part. There's some Thais that have beards. Like, there's a famous Thai rapper, Fucking Hero. He has a dope beard.
Okay.
Really good beard. I've known a few over the years that have good beards. 2 professional Thai wrestlers, Peanut and Gato Move. They wrestle in the Top Dojo promotion now here in Thailand. Both have great beards.
Really? All right. Well.
Both have really good beard game.
But not common.
Not common.
Not common, yeah.
No, not common at all.
All right, so I think we touched on, I want to make sure we touch on as much as we possibly can as far as like your transition over here.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so
there's the
administrative,
banking and all that stuff. Where do you live?
Get a legit visa.
Yeah.
Like you can do it with the visa runs.
Well, shit, not now.
Not now.
COVID, man. Fuck that.
Who knows what will happen in a post-COVID world.
Yeah, right.
You could do it before. You may be able to do it in the future, but it's not safe. And they don't want you here if you're I shouldn't say they don't. Not that they don't want you here, but
there are rules.
The system isn't there for you to exploit, and you're going to have a better life, a less stressful life. On. If you're worried about a job, teaching English is probably like your easiest go-to to just like bang it out and do something. And also a great way to meet people. I taught English when I was a student. Like I've done it before. It's a very hard job, but it
a lot of work.
It is rewarding.
Sure.
If you get good students.
Yeah.
The students make or break that.
Agreed.
Start to learn the language a bit. Be able to order food, give directions. Like there's a few things you need to be able to do in order to really, enjoy life here. And speaking at least a little bit of Thai. Like I've been here 8 years, 8 years. So it's a bit of a shame that my Thai is not better. That's my own fault. But
considering you have a Thai wife.
And put a little bit more time into, and I'm working every day to improve my Thai, but definitely put the time in to improve the language because it'll improve the quality of experiences that you can have.
I agree.
In Thailand. So visa, the elite visa is not something that we talked about. One of the guys who comes onto your channel talks about he's doing the process now.
He's got it, yeah.
And so it's a lump sum amount of money for, I think it's 5, 10, or 20 years.
Correct.
And I think 20 years is 30,000 US, $1 million baht.
It depends. Okay, so there is the visa that goes along with it. And most people think of it like there's this elite visa. Well, it's like the elite company.
Okay.
And they provide a visa, yes, but there's all these other features that you can get. So for like 500,000 baht, you basically get a 5-year visa, and pretty much that's it.
Okay.
If you want like a 10-year visa and you pay like $1 million baht, then you get like free. If you're just in Bangkok or Phuket, you get free limo rides. You get massive discounts on spas. I mean, golf courses and all this stuff. So again, it's supposed to be the infamous elite package.
Okay.
The status because it is pretty hierarchical.
So
in
there's
Thai
golf
society.
courses and shit.
Exactly, and so you can get that. But I mean, at the end of the day, the easiest thing to do is to just basically play by the rules.
Yeah.
Don't try and get away with anything because you may think, oh, that's great, I'm screwing the man. Kind of thing.
Do you know anything about the elite visa? What is it? So is it one lump sum and that's it?
Yes.
And it's a 5-year visa, no going to immigration.
Yes, and that's one of them.
Okay.
That is like the lowest version you can get.
But like you get the visa. So if I do the 20-year, I get a 20-year visa.
No, you get a 5-year visa that gets renewed 3 more times.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have a whole company that basically deals with it. They provide you with customer service. They will do your 90-day reporting for you, right? And then at about a month at 4 years and like 10 months, then they'll start and make sure you got everything. And but if you pay ahead for the 20-year, then you really don't need to worry about it. They are going to make sure that you haven't committed a felony, basically in the next. But pretty much, I mean, it's designed. They call it elite because it's designed for people that effectively have means and want to stay here long term.
Yeah.
Like the minimum amount is 5 years, and multiple entry, right? Obviously, you also can get packages where they like pick you up at the golf cart right at the plane.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, heaven forbid, you have to walk through the airport.
Yeah.
But again, if like my parents were coming over here, and I would be like, well, yeah, absolutely. My mom, Suvarna Boom's massive.
Yeah.
She's not going to walk over I want some guy to like get her luggage for her, right? So I would probably do that sort of thing. So there's that. But again, that is like the far right-hand side of the supply-demand curve, bell kind of thing. The majority of people.
So what did Ty do? Do you know how many years he did?
5-year, 500,000 baht, yeah. So it's like, was that $16,000?
Yeah. So he's good to come here for 5 years.
Yeah. So obviously it's COVID, right?
Yeah.
So the earliest that they could physically affix the sticker inside of his passport is September 25th.
Okay.
He's flying to Cambodia on September 29th to go to the Thai embassy. Yeah, I know, exactly. Wait till you hear where he's staying. Right off of Sihanoukville in those islands. Oh, my God, dude. That's sand.
Yeah.
The only place I've ever seen sand like that is in Boracay. It is like powder.
Yeah.
It's epic. And $220 a month for a bungalow right on the beach.
Epic.
Yeah. No, he's living the dream. Because he cannot get into Thailand.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, who knows? Saturday
So
it could change.
25th, how long is he going to stay in Thailand
So
for?
he's going to be okay.
Or
Well,
in Cambodia.
well, right now he's scheduled to do it for 30 days, and if he has to stay, I mean, like if all of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, this Tuesday we're going to allow elite visas, he's just going to. I'm done. I'm here.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So
Walk away from the bungalow. And
yeah.
Is he moving to Bangkok or Phuket? What's his?
So he actually has a girlfriend that is, I believe, she's up country. I don't believe she's knee deep in Isan or anything like that. I don't remember the name of the place.
Thai's anywhere up country is anywhere outside of Bangkok.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's like Hat Yai down south, Ubon Ratchathani in the northeast, Chiang Mai.
I forgot about that.
Or Pathum Thani, which is the next city outside Bangkok.
Yeah.
All up country.
Yeah, I forgot that up country also includes south.
Yeah. I do all the time too.
Yeah.
Anywhere not called Bangkok.
Yeah, basically, right. And in fact, what's funny is that we basically live on the edge of the Bangkok province.
So, well,
Past Bang Na, right?
a little bit further, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, so there's that. But again, before COVID, the majority of the guys who come over here, bam, you get a stamp, and you can stay here for 30 days. Within the first 30 days, you can go to immigration.
Renew.
For 1,900 baht, you can get an additional 30 days. Fine. I would encourage folks that are going to come over here and especially make the transition. If you've already been traveling over here, go to your home country's Thai embassy or consulate and get, especially if you're over 50, right, and get an OA visa. For retirement. But again, I mean, look, there's plenty of stuff that we've talked about today that makes 100% sense if there's no COVID.
Yes.
Right now, the things that you can do because there is COVID, that's the kind of stuff that we want to be able to provide because it's definitely different on a one-on-one basis.
Yep.
We want to be able to provide that, either through Patreon or PayPal or that sort of thing. So, I think that we've touched on enough stuff to give people like kind of a foundational.
Oh, one thing we didn't is healthcare. So
So again, it's COVID, right? So if you come over here with COVID, you're going to have $100,000 in U.S. insurance, right? Which is a shitload of Thai insurance.
Yes.
3.2 million baht, effectively.
Yes.
That's enormous.
You could live in the hospital for 365
Basically,
days for half that.
Yeah. It'd be like, oh, yeah, and I get a nurse, too, by the way. And she doesn't even have to be Filipina.
Yeah.
She doesn't have Dana stamped on her ass from... Too soon?
Too soon.
Yeah. So
there are a few though.
But normally, the easiest thing to do, honestly, is to basically just Google traveler's insurance.
Yep.
So
that'll cover you usually for your first year.
Usually, it
you
depends.
can buy it for I think up to a year when you come over here.
Yeah.
But insurance here is not crazy expensive.
No.
About $1,000 to $1,500 a year.
Depends on age, obviously,
and stuff like that. But also, healthcare here is very affordable
and excellent quality.
Excellent.
It's very affordable in the Philippines, but it sucks ass.
Yeah. So this is the crazy thing about healthcare here, right? We have everything from the highest end, like
Bumrungrad.
Bumrungrad is like a resort hospital.
Right.
My friend just had surgery there.
It's Starbucks.
And, he sent me a photo from his room. He had his own bed, like a queen size bed.
Yeah.
Like not like a little
but it's a queen size hospital bed. So it's got the arms on it, all the fucking electronics all over it. Yeah.
He had a couch
that of course he can't use because he's in the goddamn bed.
Well, this is pre-op.
Oh,
right?
okay,
So they gave him a free
pre-op.
They gave him a free night to stay because it's so slow. Right, because they're used to the tourism, medical tourism.
Cycling it through.
So get like free night before your recovery, and then the night after.
You didn't need to recover, of course.
So the night before is like to get ready, and I think he went in for like tests at like 6 a.m. But so couch, little desk area, a kitchen table to eat his food at. Amazing. With like a beautiful, like a nice chair set,
right,
big screen TV, right, and he's like, this is the cheapest room at Bumrungrad.
I'm sure they have suites.
Bathroom with a tub and a shower.
I guess that does kind of make sense. I mean, if you're doing, aftercare, you're going to want to potentially submerge your whole body.
It was one of those ones that you can open and walk into and then shut the door behind you. Oh, my God.
And just so you know, guys, bathtubs, rare.
Yeah.
Most places you stay at is going to have a shower.
My last place in Asok, we had a bathtub in one of the bathrooms.
Very Western.
Yeah, but I also, in the master suite upstairs, we had a big walk-in shower, which was pretty dope.
Yeah, I like the big walk-in shower.
Like you could fit 10 people in that.
My shower here, my walk-in shower in my friggin' one-bedroom condo is bigger than my shower and bathroom in my one-bedroom house that I had in Coronado.
So I've got 2 wet bathrooms here.
Yeah, this is the one over here with the different.
The same thing on the other side.
Okay, got it.
So it's a wet bathroom is very like if you live in an older building in Thailand or an older condo or an older house.
Yep.
The wet bathroom is kind of common, where basically it's wall to wall tile.
Yeah.
And everything, it just gets wet when you shower.
Yeah. So there's a whole. If you've ever been in like the bathroom of a RV.
Yeah.
You know, the toilet's going to get wet. Everything's they're going to have a special like container where you put the toilet paper.
Yeah.
So because that doesn't get. But you know, again, I prefer to not use. I like to have a divider between the shower.
I do too, but obviously this.
Sure.
I needed the space, so this is what came.
Yeah.
Actually, the other place we looked at didn't have that. It had the room with the toilet was separate from the shower and bath.
Oh, nice work.
Which was the first building we had agreed to rent, and then the woman just like fucking flaked out on us.
Okay.
So
you've had bad luck with real estate people.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Real estate agents. There are. So that's the other thing. Find a good real estate agent. That you trust in Bangkok, because
it depends. I would submit like every place I found. I just walk up and down the street.
So you can do that if you want to put the time in, but if you want to actually like someone to put the time into finding you a new place and like it's worth it to find a good agent.
I actually have a guy that I trust quite a bit. He has great connections and that sort of thing. He is not a real estate agent himself, but he's Thai, educated in the United States. You know, he and his wife have a 3-story townhouse over on Chaingmai.
Nice.
Yeah. And they're not starving.
No.
And anyway, so he's smart and he's very easy to talk to. And I can't say it enough. His English is excellent.
Yeah.
If you come over here and there's any sort of lost in communication when you're getting ready to rent a place, that can really be that can bite you in the ass.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
And like I told you, we just re-upped on this place for 3 more years.
And leases are pretty leasey.
Yeah.
Pro leasey.
Yeah.
Like you can break a lease and you're not going to like have to come up with all the cash.
No, they're pretty standard. And actually, you know, like I think if you have a good relationship like with the person you're renting from, it goes a long way. Like the condo we rented in Pachani Wet, we lived there for years. And we just always had like a really good like rapport. I think we called the landlord like 2 or 3 times. Like the curtains broke one time and we're like, can you replace these? He's like, yeah,
of course.
And I broke the glass door on the in the shower by accident.
Jesus, was there glass everywhere?
Yeah,
because that's not like safety glass like in a freaking car. No. How did you? Were you like, I can't step any? I mean,
no. So it happened while what must have happened was I left the door like half opened.
Okay.
And it was the summertime, so I left the slider for the balcony open to get airflow. Yeah. And we had a corner unit, so I had left both windows open. And
the wind
blew in, and the door for the bathroom swung open.
Wow!
And the knob smashed into the glass of the door. And I came out, I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I opened. I was like, oh, the door's open in the bathroom. That's where I usually shut it.
Yeah.
And I go to take a step, and like there's glass everywhere. And so
you didn't go.
No. It's because it's a step down.
Oh yeah.
So you have to look anyway.
Right.
Yeah, all the bathrooms here are recessed, like below the floor level, because a lot of them are, even like if they're not a wet bath, they're designed
always a drain in the floor. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh shit, and Jib's like, oh.
Yeah, bad sport. That's just
so
pee me.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, pee me.
What the fuck are you doing? Why were you so pissed at me?
So we ended up, we cleaned it up and like we repaired it. You know, no big deal. And actually, I don't even think we didn't repair it till we moved out. Because like half the glass was still there. Okay. It was such a big shower. There's a walk-in.
You just left it?
Yeah. So like the front half where the shower head was was fine.
Okay.
And so like the bathroom never got wet.
Okay. Right. Sure. Yeah.
Because it was just the door.
So wait, you just cleaned everything up and then just like threw away the frame and stuff? Just didn't even bother to...
Yeah. I was like, should I? Oh, it was one big frame, so that piece broke out of the frame.
Okay, got it.
Where the hinge was. It was a sliding piece. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I'll go to the hardware store
Home Pro
and see about getting it replaced.
Get me some glass.
But then like I took a shower and I'm like, this actually doesn't really make a difference.
And I'll never have to worry about the goddamn thing flying open again. Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, no big deal. And Jim was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. And so it's like one less thing to clean. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, yeah, it's true. And then right before we moved out, we got it repaired because it's not ours. And the guy came to look at it. He was like, we had the place cleaned before we returned it, and he's like, we moved all the furniture back to where it originally was because we had rearranged everything.
Yeah, sure.
And he's like, it's so clean. He's like,
right, yeah.
He's like, what I don't understand. It's like, oh, well,
that's the way we do it in the U.S.
Like that's how we do it, and like that's how in Jib is like she wouldn't do it any other way.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
It's
Like,
not just the U.S. I shouldn't say that.
So and he was like, oh, he's like a lot of times people just kind of trash it and move out. He's like, I'll transfer your deposit back to you right now.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. You're going to notice that like money transfer over here, people are going to be like, oh yeah, just get. And it's like, no, they're being legitimate.
Yeah,
like they're not just like trying to do. You do all of this shit on your phone.
Yeah.
You always have an app for your bank.
Yep.
And I mean, I use my phone to buy everything at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I never use cash.
So yeah, we are really moving cashless. There are even street food vendors you can pay cashless.
No, totally. Just scan. The guy will have like a QR code right by my coconut shake guy.
Yeah.
He's got like basically everything's
He's got
handwritten. Yeah. And you can do that with any bank.
Any bank. It's owned by K-Bank.
I wondered why there was the K Plus everywhere.
But you can just scan it and boom, pay.
See, that's smart. That's the other thing too. Is that there's a finite number of banks here. What are there, like maybe 10?
Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah. Maybe not even.
And what's crazy is sometimes you'll be like in a subway or something like that, and you'll see ATMs. Right. Every bank has a different color.
Yes.
And sometimes you will see like 10 different, or at least 5 different ATMs. You'll see green, yellow, orange, blue, purple.
Purple SCB.
Yeah.
That's my bank.
See that? Yeah.
So and you just go to but you can use any ATM. Most accounts let you use any ATM without a fee to a certain number, like 10 times a month or something.
So here's the thing. I opened my bank account at Casacorn in Pattaya. If I use that ATM card anywhere but Pattaya, they charge me like 10 or 15 or 20 bucks.
That's a Pattaya thing for sure.
No. I asked him about this because I opened up my Bangkok bank account.
That's a Pattaya thing.
In John Tien, which of course is Pattaya.
You can't leave Pattaya.
No, absolutely. You can take the boy out of Pattaya, right? But you can't take And so, I mean, look, there's a ton of YouTube videos out there on like stuff to do and on the cost of living. I would highly encourage you to not pay attention to the cost of living videos that talk about how incredibly cheap it is to live here. Like if you see a video that says you can live in Bangkok for less than $1,000 a month,
that's a lie.
And live like a king, that's an absolute bullshit lie.
Yeah, you're right. So here's it's still a major city.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to pay major city prices.
Other than Phuket, it's the most expensive city in the friggin' country.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, there's probably some like islands where it's just like I'm sure if you lived on Koh Phanong, I mean, outside of like the
Koh Samet or Koh Samui, right?
Maybe not like the cost to live there. Like you said, right now you can rent 20,000 baht a month for like $5 for like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But like your daily cost to get food, your cost for gas, your cost for whatever is going to be a little bit more than Bangkok.
Right.
But in Bangkok, you're paying more to like rent a spot, and you're like if you want to go out to like a restaurant, like Mike said, like we go out, it could be Mexican food, 2,000 baht.
Yeah, because it's Mexican food. But if we went to like literally next door,
we could eat at Pala if we just had like a couple pieces of pizza. It'd be like less than 600.
Yeah.
But like if we went for Thai food, it's 30 baht.
If we walk down the street and get some of the best fucking fried chicken I've ever had in my life in front of the 7-Eleven.
So fried chicken in Thailand, right? It's on another level. But that's for another time.
Yeah,
we'll do a whole food episode.
Food episode, yeah.
We're just over 2.
Oh, are we really?
So let's wrap it.
Flies by. Absolutely.
And we go. Don't forget Tuesday live streams. I think we're gonna start to try to do a Thursday.
Yes, Thursday in the evenings. I think we're gonna try to do that. Yes.
Yeah. And then again, like when we figure out the Patreon stuff, we'll post it up there and get some more information out.
But definitely, don't forget, I mean, BangkokStrange@gmail.com. It goes to Dana, but obviously if it's something that's more me related, then, I mean, pretty much we both share a brain.
Yeah.
So we can, like, figure it out if the other guy isn't around.
Fucking hell.
What the fucking hell? You can't park this thing here.
Can't park there.
So anyway, here's the deal. We would love to answer your questions one-on-one.
Yes.
I think that goes without saying. Right now, we don't have a ton of subs. If you guys are on YouTube or you've watched my channel, you've seen Dana Bluen's channel, or you've seen, what's the...
Dapper Villains.
Dapper Villains.
Yeah.
Please subscribe. That would be really helpful. We need to get to
100 first.
Yeah, we got to be able to do that to get some branding done, and then after that, obviously, it'll be 1,000 to get some, monetization.
Milestones though, 100 is our milestone. We're almost halfway there.
Yeah, we're almost halfway there.
So,
I know we can hit this by the next.
If you guys listen, you're not. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, help us out.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That would be great.
Until next time, stay strange.
Peace.